What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Junkyard Breaks live with the boys.
Live with the boys.
What's
It
going
plays
on,
the theme
fellas?
song where it gets the hose again.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? Where's my I know I have a whole stack of slabs that it's
Clearly, we're all doing better today than we were yesterday.
yesterday was a no-go for sure.
No, not going to happen.
A new goo.
Dude, why is this thing being an asshat?
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no. Oh
Oh, no.
no. So how's everybody doing? We missed last week, so we got we got
last week.
some stuff to catch up on.
I don't think I've actually been able to acquire anything in 2 weeks because I was at a volleyball tournament for a weekend. So that was
money well
May.
spent.
And yes,
what did you say? It was like $1,000 you spent on volleyball?
this season,
Yeah,
like $5,000.
$5,000 on volleyball. Whew.
You know how many comics that is?
No, I know.
Potentially one really awesome one.
Oh, I'm aware.
You know, this is what a 13-year-old costs.
I mean, what we do for our children. You know, I got it. Damn, $5,000 for volleyball, and this is just like travel and hotels and on top of the actual. I mean, because it's not like you're equipping a hockey goalie.
No, this is correct. I mean, I have some friends, that have more disposable income than I do, that have teenage children. Holy crap! Does it cost quite a bit of money?
Yeah. Wowzers.
Yeah, that's really funny you say about the hockey goalie too, because I have a friend who has multiple teenage sons playing hockey, and
That's got to be the most
expensive sport to
very
play.
expensive.
ice time and the travel to the tournaments and equipment and
I think there's no other sport that costs more than hockey.
it's crazy.
It's crazy, especially a goalie. I heard it's like over $2,000 just to equip a goalie, with pads and glove. Like the glove for a hockey goalie, the glove is like $1,000. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Or a good one. It's a lot
That's
of leather
terrible.
on those
That's
things.
terrible. That's no incentive.
No.
The children need to find a way to monetize themselves. You know?
Be careful.
Well, they do now.
Be careful.
They need to be able to have like Pepsi Cola all over their shin pads or something like that.
Yep.
For the 7 parents in the stands.
Hillary Clinton had someone killed who said that once.
Yeah. I know Jimmy's not in the chat, but he said we got a lot to talk about. What do we have to talk about? Was there a lot going on the last week? I mean, besides the Ahsoka Tano, I didn't watch the trailer.
Me neither.
The Ahsoka Tano trailer, the most recent Into the Spider-Verse trailer.
Oh, I didn't watch that either then.
Then they had the Marvels trailer, which I mean,
I did
like
watch
I said,
that, but I don't
It
really...
featured Intergalactic, it doesn't get any better.
You're an easy sell, man. All I gotta throw is a Beastie Boys song in the trailer, and you're all in.
No, it's gotta be a well placed Beastie Boys song. You can't have a disjointed
It's a great song,
track
but
from Paul's Boutique in there. You can't use Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego for a
Why not?
for a tearjerker. It's gotta work with the.
I don't know how in I am for Marvels.
Shake
sure.
your rumpa.
So it looked like three girls across the multiverse, but aren't they all in the same multiverse? Like, aren't they all in the same universe? So why would they be switching multiverse?
I don't know. I mean,
That's my understanding. Monica Rambeau is very much in this multiverse. So is Carol Danvers, and I don't know about Kamala Khan, but she would be the only one that would not be.
You mean in this universe, not in this
Well, it
multiverse?
made it seem like 3 people were jumping their own universes and into somebody else's universe, but Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers are in the same universe.
Yeah, I mean,
unless there's something I don't know. It's possible.
We don't know that Kamala's not in this universe either, right?
I don't remember, because I remember at the end of Miss Marvel, the Kamala Khan series, there is a Carol Danvers swap. at the end, which I think
Well,
jumps into this trailer.
Doesn't she emulate? Or doesn't she absolutely love Captain Marvel? Isn't that like that's her shtick, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing. So she's like a fangirl. So I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. They got some splaining to do.
Listen, they've done really good with the continuity. The last 5 or 6 movies. There's no reason to question whether or not everything will make sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
You just got to trust in the process, bro.
I'll just trust in the process. I guess,
There's no reason. It's not like they took beloved characters or a beloved Thor run and made wildly unnecessary changes for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. Preach, Jason.
It's not like we have, that possibility to color outside the lines.
Well, we haven't seen it thus far, so why should we expect it moving forward?
We haven't
thus far, right.
But we also know that somebody got fired because it didn't make sense. So there's that.
But we also know that everybody got hyped, including me, when they saw the Ahsoka trailer. And aside from Mando, most of the recent Star Wars stuff has also given us reason for pause. So
is Mando good so far? I know I keep asking this question. So far, yeah. All right. I think
Jason was 100% spot on when he said that Mando consistently is the hold my beer of Star Wars.
All right.
That was the best line ever.
Chris, what's the character from Rebels that they have as the cameo?
Zeb.
Dude, that was awesome. He looked so rad.
It was great.
Zeb would be the last character that I was expecting. I know he's in it because it was spoiled for me. The last character I was expecting from Rebels to make it to
I'm telling you,
action.
I think it was a mix of like emotion. I guess it was motion capture.
Yeah.
But he looked freaking rad.
I mean,
like
just the still
really
photo
good.
I saw of him, I was like, "That's Zeb. That is awesome!" Ripped right out of the cartoon. It looks so good.
When they panned across the bar, and he walks up, my eyes like
you're like,
boom. I looked at my wife and went, "Zeb," and she's like, she watched it with my son before I saw it.
Griff has not watched like the cartoons yet.
Your brother refuses to watch them.
My child has some. He just has this ability to like capture information, and related to toys, not to schoolwork, but toys and stuff like that.
Children do.
He's like, that guy's from the cartoon. I think he's from Rebels. And I was like, okay. I knew he was from one of the cartoons, but I didn't know which one.
You didn't watch Rebels?
What's that?
You didn't watch Rebels either?
No. I was behind.
So good.
I
actually liked it more than Clone Wars. I really did.
Me too.
When would they have? They would have debuted in what, like
it did 3 seasons,
2004, something like that.
Didn't it do 3 seasons? And
then 3 seasons.
3 seasons, and then it got sandwiched in between the finale season of Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
Which that last season
canceled.
was so freaking awesome.
When was Clone Wars debut? Like 2003, 2004, something like that?
I think Clone Wars was that early, and Rebels was probably 2012.
And Clone Wars went for 6 seasons? And then
6 seasons, and then Disney bought
and
canceled everything.
And then it went a 7th season after 3 seasons of Rebels.
Right.
Yeah. It's so good, Jason.
Yeah, no, I knew
2010-ish, I want to say.
I just missed it like in life, and then I knew there was all this content.
Yeah, I did too.
Like to watch, and I was like, ugh.
I did not watch it when it came out.
Stuff.
Yeah, I went back and did a deep, I just did
because I would have been like just recently out of college trying to figure out how to start State of Mind when Clone Wars came out.
Yeah.
And then Lucy was tiny when
the season
we were right between Lucy existing and Griffin existing when Rebels was on. So
the season 6 stuff with Barriss and what's her name? The bald girl. What the hell's her name?
Saj Ventress?
Yeah, Saj Ventress and Rex and Cody, and there's so much good stuff, man. It explains so much. And then 7 is like a
almost
wrap-up.
makes the prequels watchable.
Exactly.
That's how good it is.
It really does. It really does. It makes everything make sense. Even the last 5 minutes of Revenge of the Sith, it like ties up every loose end. It's like,
that last season,
now it's not so bad.
But it's crazy how well it does in fact do that.
They even explain Force ghosts.
Yeah.
They explain why that is. It's so good. It's so good. The one I didn't like was the one with it wasn't Hondo heavy. It was the guy who was racing spaceships. What the hell was it? I didn't like that one that much. It was a guy. Was he an orphan? He was kind of fitting in. He was racing spaceships. You remember that one, Chris, or no? I forgot what it's called.
Not off the top of my head. I got to rewatch all that stuff now.
I know. I really do want to watch it.
It's fading away, so it's time to rewatch.
Yeah, I totally agree. It is time to rewatch it again.
That was a really funny description. This guy races spaceships. My buddy Ben, he does I tell him he does what I call 30-second bad movie reviews.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, because I'll always be like, hey man, you ever seen E.T.? And he'll be like, bicycles, BMX, phone home, and like he'll say all things that is like, yeah, I can't refute anything that you just said, but I don't know that it's a decent synopsis of an Oscar-winning film.
Those are
Star Wars
very
Resistance.
strange bit part things.
Yes, and that's what he does. That's what he does all the time with like, hey, did you ever see such and such? He'd be like, and he just like blurts out like, it's like the world's worst Cliff Notes. It's like Cliff Notes if they were missing. If Cliff Notes were missing 95% of their content,
right.
That's what it would be like.
It's like you see Close Encounters. It's like strange noises, mashed potatoes, a big organ.
Such an abridged version.
You're like, what?
You know? Star Wars.
You're
Resistance.
missing the point.
Resistance. That's what it was.
Resistance.
You know what it's like? Do you ever try and do one of the book reports based on reading like the small classic illustrated
the Cliff Notes?
Like those mini comic book things, like the ones that are like 40 pages.
I think I had the Macbeth one of that.
I think I tried to do Black Beauty when I was like 11 by zooming through one of those things.
Didn't quite pan out for you.
No. Black Horse, super beautiful.
Something like that.
That's it.
Wild then tame, right?
That's what I got.
But
so
okay.
I have a feeling when we get to the Hot 10 this week that we might complete all 10 between the three of us.
I had a good number of them. I think I had 7 or 8. I think.
I haven't looked yet, so I don't know how many I had. But Jason's doing well today.
Jay, you had 4.
4. That's big.
4 is good.
My greatest ever.
Yeah, 4 is good.
I sold my lesser copy of Heir to the Empire this week.
Did you?
Did? Why?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw how hard that book had dropped.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I bought a couple more during the dip.
My 8.5 I was able to get, I think, $1.44, and the 8.5s before the announcement, the last 2 8.5s had sold for like $75 and $85 or something.
Yeah, they were
like
down bad,
big time, crazy. I don't know why that, but
we'll see in the Hot 10. That book is still. It is reserved for the 9.6 and the 9.8, but particularly the 9.8 for that book.
Yeah, I still got that newsstand. I got to get that graded. That's a nice high grade newsstand too.
Well, you said the newsstand was
it was a different paper quality.
Press it, right? Because it's not the card stock.
Definitely. But this is like one of those things though.
Not the heavier stock.
I'm sure we'll debate it when we get to the 10, but. Have people not seen this coming for a year and a half now? 2 years?
I mean,
why?
it's the same.
Why now?
Listen, this is the reason I was fighting you guys so hard on the not going overboard on the Damian Wayne books right now. Like, it's clear that it's going to happen. It's just like,
yeah, no,
how
I know.
how far in the future and like how low will it go?
Oh, there's time. There's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's time. I don't know. That's one of those books where like Chris's Swamp Thing 1, the first one, it's not dipping. It's not dipping anytime soon. And Swamp Thing is far, far off. Like,
but that Swamp Thing 1 has been up there for a minute.
I could have had that book for $50. Now it's $350.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that
I think I paid $100.
What's that Swamp Thing book from? 1978, though.
But who
Yeah,
cares?
around
Like,
that.
it's
not 2006 or 2010 or whatever. I'm just saying the likelihood of there being that many in high grade versus the likelihood of there being that many of the newer book in high grade. There's a disconnect.
How many of those did they make though? That's the other thing I don't know.
The Batman book?
The Heir to the Empire. That not short printed?
Batman like waned in popularity.
No, that was like a late volume 1. You know, like it's.
No, I'm talking about Heir to the Empire.
Oh, Heir
How
to the Empire.
How many of those did they print? I'm not aware of that being very high printed.
There was a good amount, but not like huge.
Because that was one of those weird spin-offs that it wasn't on a lot of people's radar. I got to look at the pop count on that.
No, it's got to be one of the earliest original stories, right? The Dark Horse, because a lot of those early Dark Horse were basically retellings, right, Chris? Like the first Jedi Tales and stuff like that.
The first Dark Horse to be re-released was in '91, or to be released was in '91, and it was Dark Empire. It was an original storyline.
Oh, okay.
So Dark Empire 2, and then I believe Heir to the Empire was like 92, 93. I want to say
95.
95. Okay, so then it came several years later. Oh, 92 is when it came out in book form.
Okay. Right.
Star Wars Heir to the Empire, 1995. There's only 350 on the 9/8. So altogether, there's 20,
that's not differentiated, right?
26. It can be. This is regular direct. So there's 2,600 graded universal.
Yes, so that's still not a ton.
350, 494,
2,600. That's it.
398, 426, and then there's a huge drop off when it gets to the.
It's got to have a print run of like 50,000. That book. I mean, it's got to have a decent sized print run, but not a freaking Marvel print run. It's not like Spider-Man or something like that, you know.
Now the newsstand.
The Dark Horse Star Wars at the time was doing well, but not well enough to be like, yeah, like you said, it wasn't Superman.
Newsstand 9/8 is $2,700.
Yeah, the freaking 9/8s are way high.
And 800 for an 9/6. Wow.
Yeah,
that's a drop. Because
there's only 60. There's only 67.
I do have a newsstand. It's raw.
556
newsstand copies versus 2,600.
Yeah, it's still not a lot. 3,100. I mean, what did we talk about? We talked about that Wolverine 1 Frank Miller miniseries the other week, and what was that at like 27,000 graded or something on the census?
I just saw a video where I didn't even know there was 5,600 X-Men 1 graded. X-Men 1. It's 5,600 of them. That's a lot.
We're here in the vinyl department.
That's freaking crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of books for something from what, 64, 63?
Would be what you call it? FF is 62, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is FF1 still a 10? It's still a 10-cent book, right? FF1.
We're here in the vinyl department today, and I'm about to take delivery.
Whoops! It might be 12. Let me look. I can look. X-Men 1, 63.
63, right?
And
FF1 is 6.
It is a 12-center. 12-cent. 5,900 graded.
What's that?
You were right. Dark Empire is 91. Dark Empire 2 is 94, and then Droids was 94, and then then they start with a bunch of content in 95. Heir to the Empire is 95. Bounty on Barracuda. There's all those Boba Fett's are like 95, 97, 99.
Yeah.
Star Wars Boba Fett's 95 too. But that, yeah, I mean, once 99 hits, then there's just a ton.
It just it exploded.
And the solo Dark Horse Star Wars title starts in 98.
And that's, I mean,
and those were all brand new stories.
Those were probably some, like, aside from Dark Empire, because Dark Empire was pretty epic. But that it later became what is it? A Republic. Like, it started off as like Star Wars Volume 2, or technically it's considered Dark Horse Star Wars Volume 1, but it around issue 50 something, it went 40 something, 50 something, it went from being, Star Wars to Republic.
Okay.
And it kind of gets into that Clone Wars era. It's kind of like a lead in, and then it becomes like the Republic. It's one of the greatest. Yeah, I love that entire run's awesome.
Did they keep the numbering convention? Do you remember on that?
They did. So even though it's like, if you look up Republic, the first issue that you're going to see is going to be like, like 52 or something like that. You're like, where's the rest of them? It's because it's Star Wars Volume 1.
That's
what's so funny, because
like Star Wars, it would be a Star Wars 36, but then it'll say 1 of 4.
That's the thing. That whole volume
within
that whole volume is very confusing to collect.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that's something I realized. It probably took me a full year and a half after I got back in the hobby to realize, like, when I was looking at ASM 800, that the original ASM run goes from like 1 to 440, whatever it is, 446 or whatever, and then they almost count McFarlane's Spider-Man run, which then goes for whatever it is, like,
don't they count Web of?
What's that?
Web of and Spectacular too?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, there's a I don't know that they count those, because I think Web of went like both of those went 200 plus issues.
Did they go that long? Holy crap!
Yeah, they both went for a long time. But yeah, it's interesting. I would actually like to see exactly how they do that. Like, what is the true numbering?
The legacy numbering? I'm guarantee you there's a site that goes over the legacy numbering on all those.
Oh, so you're right, Dolph. Web of went 129 issues. Is it Spectacular that's the one that goes like almost 200, or
probably Spectacular went on for a long time?
Because that one started earlier too.
So I don't know Spider-Man like you guys do. Is Web of and Spectacular part of that whole series? It just branched off, or is it?
No, Amazing Spider-Man kept going.
Oh, yes, ASM is clearly its own thing, and that's that.
From what I understand, Chris, so Spectacular, here it is, 264 issues.
Yeah.
Started in 76. From what I understand ASM was very popular in the late 70s. It became like it was the along with X-Men, it was like the popular title. And 76 is when 76 is when Direct Market starts, I think, and so they add a second monthly Spider-Man book. It's not like it's not Peter Parker or anything like that.
Right.
It's a
Peter Parker. It's just like a different creative team doing a monthly book.
More stories of Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it just stayed true to the character and everything. It was just a different run.
Yeah, because there was also Spider-Man, where it was Amazing Spider-Man, Web of, Spectacular.
Was there continuity between the three? Like, they would reference something that happened in Web of and Amazing just because they didn't want to break from continuity.
I think they were their own things.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I was curious. I don't know either.
I mean, it's certainly, characters who are introduced in one cross over to the others, right? So it's not like the Punisher stayed in.
Well, Amazing Spider. It's like Amazing Spider-Man. Right. He had Tarantula's first appearance, but then he went right over into Spectacular Spider-Man.
Right. He's on the cover.
He had his own stories.
Right.
Exactly. So I guess there is some crossover because it's the same. It's a cover swipe. It's the same cover.
Yeah, it's basically the same cover, right? Like maybe a little different coloring or whatever.
But yeah, pretty much a swipe. Yeah. So I mean, and then I think in the 90s, 94 was the Spider-Man title. It's just Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. That's 90 actually.
Was it 90?
McFarlane's Spider-Man, because he goes immediately as soon as he leaves ASM on like 328 or 329. Right to start that. He starts because ASM 300 is 88, and so I think it's a twice per month book at that point in time. So that makes sense that there's almost no downtime between his end and Larson picking up ASM and Spider-Man starting.
Right. Yeah, cash machine, big time.
It's funny because as I get more information, then I'm less certain about all the details that I was, because there's just more of it there,
and there's I'm sure there's guys out there screaming at us because they know Spider-Man a hell of a lot more than we do.
Well, it's funny though. I'll watch some big content creators, and I'm like, "That's wrong."
Yeah, I have too, but I'm sure we made mistakes. But yeah,
that's wrong, which is crazy.
Yep, definitely. But
well, that's the same way. The same way when I watch people talking about Star Wars who were born right when the sequels were coming out, and they're going into the history of. I'm like, that's not how that happened at all. That's
kind of how we introduced you to the group too. You and Jimmy had that Star Wars debate on what was it, Dr. Aphra.
Yeah, he was totally right too.
He was totally right.
But
wasn't there was a weird time jump though?
There was a super weird time jump, and that's what ended up happening. Aphra
had a Luke baby, and then Aphra was with Luke, adult Luke.
Right. Well, it was each volume kind of moved forward to the next.
But she stayed the same.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Is it freaking Matthew McConaughey and Days of Confused?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay the same age.
Luke keeps getting older, but Aphra stays the same age. All right.
So I'm gonna bring out Dolph. I didn't forget you. This coloring book is still coming out for you.
Oh, cool.
When I come, the Mumra meets his match.
Am I gonna see you for Jimmy's birthday? I guess is gonna be when I'm gonna see you. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun.
This was actually never even colored in either, which is really funny.
When's Jimmy's birthday?
May 9th.
Oh.
I think we're gonna head out into the city and hit some stores.
Nice.
What is it? A Wednesday?
It's a Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, it was a weird one.
Yeah, Jason, let me know what I owe you for the Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Well, I said
I'm at 30. I'm at 30 with the Star Wars.
Yeah, so. just 10 more for the Wonder Woman.
I'll make sure I PayPal your Venmo you before you come in.
No worries, Chris. I'll bring it out.
Jason, what are you selling at this weekend? A show, right?
There's a toy show in Altoona, and so I'm gonna try it out. I went the last time, and there wasn't a ton of people there, but the people that were there when I was there buying stuff were buying stuff, and there was people buying comics, So I'm hoping if it's a similar crowd to what I tend to see at the flea market, but obviously there specifically for toys and comics and stuff like that, I'll do well, because really what I've seen is confident in the stuff that I have and the pricing, because when I sell to people, comic book people, like my average sale is around like between $40 and $60 each transaction. So like,
That's good.
You don't need a lot of those to make it worthwhile. You know, if the people are in the room, and that's why I want to do more cons, because I do have stuff. I do have good stuff. I've actually been pretty impressed. If I look at as an aggregate, the condition of the books that I sell are way better than the condition of the books that some folks sell too.
That main collection you bought was really nice. I mean, they were high mid-grade, but I would say like 6.5s, low 7s on everything. Like they were really nice. Yeah. Having bought a few of them off of you, they're nice books.
I think this is a 9.8. Like this thing is insane how sharp this is, and that book has dipped a bit, but 9.8s are staying real strong on that book. And if I could pull a 9.8, it would be a huge win.
Yeah.
For that.
You sending it in?
Yeah, even a 9.6 is good, but if I could pull a 9.8, like for what I paid, I could almost triple the collection just on that book.
Nice.
If I could pull a 9.8.
Right. That's awesome.
What was the newsstand you sold to Erod?
Pardon me?
What was the newsstand you sold to Erod? Was that a mid-grade? Like a 5?
It was a mid-grade. Yep. Yeah, and he actually sold it on his live sale with Terry Gary like 4 days later or something like that. It was
not long. I saw it. I was like, I know that book.
Yeah, it was funny.
All right, you want to go over some mail
you guys want to do your pickups? Because I don't have anything to contribute for the most part, so we'll just check out your pickups.
I picked up Adventures of the Rifle Club, and I actually got the three that were Bolin covers.
Oh, cool.
They're upstairs because I've been sitting here cataloging books for inventory for HIP. But I wanted to kind of go into that real quick because I had that first like auction event that I did.
Yeah,
with them.
I want to know.
And I ate shit on a bunch of books.
Really?
And a couple of them, I mean, I wasn't getting like price guide value on anything, but I was getting a decent amount to where I was happy with like, you know, what I was getting for them. I was like, all right, that's cool. And of course, 3 people still haven't paid. 1 canceled. Another guy has decided to go through my entire inventory and lowball me on every X-Men book that I've listed so far. Like if I have like a $3 or $4 book up there, he will send me an offer for $1, $1.25. I'm like, no, that's not happening. He finds $30 books and offers you $5 for them. Like, who is this person?
Waste my time.
So right. So what's funny is that he bids on this book, and he was this person who was lowballing me the whole time before the auction. You know, on day 1 or 2 of the auction, you know, there's still a full week to go. He has like $1 bid on everything. I was like, this guy is playing a numbers game.
He's
like,
also he's going to win too, right?
Like, he's just
he actually placed the initial bid, the $1 initial bid on everything.
Yes.
Okay.
So did he end up winning the majority of your stuff?
He did not win. He won 1 book, and he ended up paying $28 for it. So I was like, at that point, I was like, all right, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not upset about that. So then before he paid, he went through like a bunch of stuff and sent me like dollar offers on everything. Like, oh, you'll probably accept it because the shipping's already paid for.
Yeah.
I was like, nah. So I like accepted like 2. Like I gave him 2. I counter offered everything. It was a $3 book. I counter offered for $2 and he took it. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, I don't like this getting nickel and dimed over $1, but whatever.
I wouldn't either.
So today.
Your message, I don't know whether it was a typo or whether that's actually what you said. Something about the shipping. What's the deal with the shipping? Was it not good, or did you figure that out?
You said HIP's got a way of doing shipping too, right?
HIP's got a way of doing shipping, and it sucks.
It's
absolutely terrible because it calculates shipping Like it defaults to charging them $3 for shipping, and that's it. Like if you don't go in there and change it, it automatically defaults to a flat rate of $3.35 each additional book. You will eat shit on shipping every time if you do that.
So if they just order one book, you're sending it for $3.35, which means you're probably losing.
No, if they're sending it for $3, if they order 2 books, it's $3.35.
When we all know
3
it's
books
like
is $3.70. Get what I'm saying?
$4.49 to ship a book, right?
What's that?
It's almost like $4.24 to $4.49. Depends where it is. If it's in Oregon, it's going to cost you $6.
Yeah,
well, that's
let's go, bro. If you do a halfway decent job of packaging a book, even if you can get it in a padded mailer with a Gemini, it's going to cost you between $5 and $8 straight up. You know.
Well, that's the thing.
If it's first class, it should be $4.24.
About $4.50, I figured, for a Gemini and a padded mailer.
I also
be able to send it first class.
I have one of the higher listed stores on eBay, so I get huge discounts on shipping. So my reality might not be reality.
Well, HIP does not have their own shipping thing like incorporated. What you have to do is you have to go into your PayPal and use ShipStation.
I have ShipStation, and
it's not bad. It's not a bad setup. It's just that
it's bad if you sell more than 100 items in a month, because then you're not getting the free ShipStation. You got to pay for it, which I had to do once. It's like $25 a month.
You're kidding. I'm gonna eat shit on that this month.
If you ship more than 100 items, you lose you can't ship more than 100 items in a month. They'll ask for $24.
You gotta stay under 100 items.
You gotta stay under 100 in a month. If you go over 100, they'll just stop you, or they'll just say you gotta pay the membership. That's part of PayPal.
Times.
That's ShipStation.
Yeah, that's horrible. This setup, like, I'm starting to think about it, and I'm pretty much going to use HIP until my last, like, I got until June 26th, I think, and then because they gave me free membership until then. I calculated everything. I said, so I'm going to pay $40 a month for the membership. I'm going to pay them like 12% on every sale that I make. I'm eating it on shipping left and right. PayPal's taking a transaction fee every time.
That's $1, you're going to eat it just like we did on Whatnot.
Right. I said I'm literally just going to take everything and put it up on eBay. It's so much. There's so many more eyes on it on eBay that it's just worth it to do it that way. You're still eating it a little bit, but at least they take care of like the whole kit and caboodle. You know, with this, I'm jumping back and forth, and there's some good incentives, but I'm getting a lot. It's like all comics, and you're getting like the bottom. Like right now, because I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, I'm getting all the friggin' bottom feeders that are
really interesting to see like the market as a whole, right? Like it was like everybody was spending completely irrationally and throwing ridiculous amounts of money at books, even like mid-grade stuff, like mid-grade 80s and 90s books. And then now it's completely flipped where like, I mean, you guys, I've only sold one of those Masters of the Universe books on eBay. You could shave your face with these books. That's how clean they are. And I've only sold one of them. I'll probably pull them all down tomorrow night and sell them at the toy show.
Because they wanted all to start at $1. You started them all like $20 to $30, and that's fair.
I have them as buy it now's that price though. It's not an auction. Like.
Right, that's what I mean. It's a fair
price. I priced them under where they should be.
Yeah, I said, it's a fair price, but most people see, $24 for a Masters of the Universe book. But I guarantee you, if you started at $1, you'd probably sell it for $7 to maybe $16. Well under market value, but it'll sell. It'll get more eyeballs. But that's the game to play.
I'm not into like pissing away value though. Like I don't need, am I making a ton of money right now? No, but I don't need to get rid of them.
That's all relative though, isn't it? Especially with that's all relative though, isn't it, when it comes to raw books? Like you're saying its value is $24.
It's not worth my time to sell a book for less than $20 on eBay. If I think about the fact that it's going to take me like 35 minutes to package it and I may make $2 or $3, it's not worth 35 minutes of my time, or
Yeah, sure.
an hour after I run to the post office and stuff like that. It's just not worth it. So I have to consider what's worth it. Whereas selling in person at cons, if I can do more of those, I'm much happier doing that, because I have people who are going to pay legitimate value, and there's none of that downtime wasted in packaging books and shipping books. Now, if I can sell books, I don't mind if I have a ton of equity in them, and I'm going to make, like, if I sell books for 20 or 25 bucks, but I'm just not willing to sell books that are less than $20 on eBay. It's not worth my time.
Right.
By the time I pay for a Gemini mailer and I do all the work to make sure it's bulletproof, it's, I friggin' make way more money at work than I do doing that.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it. But at the same time, what's the market on a He-Man 3? You know what I mean? Like, there is none. There's no, unless somebody's trying to complete the run, or somebody sees its value as, like, I'm going to get it slabbed, maybe get that 9.8, and then it's more sellable. But as it stays, it's a He-Man 3, near mint He-Man 3 that nobody wants. It has a value, kind of, but it really is, the value is only what somebody will pay for it. It could be a book you'd hold on for years.
On planet Earth.
Yeah, of course, but it could be a book that you're hanging on to for a couple of years before you get one lucky guy. I've had that. I've had books that I'm like, God, how is nobody buying this book? Like, does anybody feel the same way? Like, it has value. Like, until, like, 2 years of hanging on to it, somebody will come along and finally sees what I see. It could be a while. Like, it has a spot in your box, and it just stays there and just stays there, and that's infuriating. Sometimes I just, like, get impatient, want to move the book, start it at $1, and roll the dice, and whatever happens. But I know that you have to make back what you have invested into that collection. But at the same time, you're a running business, and you have to turn some books into liquid in order to buy more collections. So you have to pass on some, take the hit in order to turn it into actual cash so you can buy more stuff.
Sure. So, yeah, but at the same time, you also, like, and that's what's nice that's why I'm thinking this year I'm probably going to try to do more in-person type stuff, just because, like what you said, there's way less of an overhead because I'm putting all the numbers together. Yeah. This was a learning experience for me, and it was like, I was like, wow, this is like being in a band all over again, where the record label gets paid more than you ever will. The guy who makes the t-shirts gets paid before you do. The venue that's supposed to be paying you takes a portion of your t-shirt sales. Like, it's like, holy crap. It's I quit being in a band because of that reason.
Yeah, no, I get it. Totally.
So, yeah, I mean, it was and I don't mean to complain. I'm just, I know where I want to be, and I know where I should be, and I'm not willing to.
No, I don't see it as complaining at all. I just, it's how you choose to part with your books, and how long you're willing to just stick it out in order to get the value you think it deserves. Like, it's not complaining. It's just like, it's patience versus turnover. Like, you just, you want to buy more collections, obviously, and you need the money to do that. So, like,
Sure.
Well, I personally don't mind playing the long game.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like, I have no problem with it, and I get it that I know going into this that I'm probably going to be sitting on some of these for many years. Some of them I might not ever get rid of it. It's just how it goes. Mm-hmm. But to be able to rotate stuff, sure. But at the same time, if you want to make me an offer on, like, a stack of books, like, the least you could do is like especially, like, online, like, buy one at the asking price, then start a conversation.
Sure.
Somebody offered Jimmy $350 for his 9.2 newsstand ASM 300. $350. Like, F you. I mean, for the love of God, like,
yeah.
How would you think that's going to work when the person has it priced fair to begin with?
He's going to say to you, he's going to be like, "Oh, there's a dip." Nah, pal. That book is evergreen. There's no dip. Not on that.
Right.
It's
Sorry.
just, like you get some of these people. So like I would say the only thing I don't like about selling in person thus far, the only thing I don't like selling about in person is the people who are kind of like rough with your books, right? Like they're frigging collectors.
Yeah.
They're collectors. They want the book to be pristine, and yet they're going to manhandle the books that they may want to buy that they expect to be
What do you
pristine.
allow?
What's that?
What do you allow as far as like people? You allow them to take them out of the bag and board, or would you rather do it?
No,
and
I
show
mean
it to them?
if they ask, then they
Yeah.
if somebody asks, but
I
I
know
put everything in new bags and boards. So it's
we
not
all know
like
that
it's,
guy at the flea market, the Russian dude who just he'll open up every comic you have. He'll open it up
Yeah,
and look at the.
that's got to drive you insane.
He just wants to see who's doing the interior art versus the cover art because he collects artists. But it's like, dude, he's like going through, like he was doing that to all of Jimmy's books. Jimmy's losing his mind. He's like, what the hell? He's going through every single book. He's opening them up.
Well, yeah, you basically, I mean, a bag of board costs you, 25 to 30 cents now.
Yeah.
So don't freaking f up the the book and possibly get a tape pull and then ruin
I'd
your
probably
book.
tell that guy to take a hike.
Yeah.
He spends a lot of money though. That's the other thing. I
Well-
know he's literally spent hours at my table, and he would spend $50-$60 every week. So you give some guys
crazy, though. It's
a
like,
little bit of leeway.
For $50-$60, I would tell him to pound sand. If he was spending $500, I'd be like, all right, but like he could ruin $100 book in less than a second. So
$60 on a slow day is $60.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I get it. It's every situation is unique.
Sure.
I think most of these cases they're all unique. You just you roll with the punches, and whatever opportunity presents itself, and you just make those decisions in that moment. Because I've changed. I've what I would do one day I wouldn't do the next day.
Sure.
It all depends.
You're right. I mean, there's a lot that your mood and everything like that comes into play. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm usually in a bad mood. So.
Yeah, like I look at like my table, and I look at people who've been doing it for 10 years, and it's like, you notice my table is like insanely clean, and all the books are alphabetized and everything like that, and like I've put some effort into making this easy for you as a customer.
I've seen tables where I can tell that guy lives in a hoarder house, and he basically just moved his hoarder house to 2, 3 8-foot tables. It's like, it's unbelievable.
We saw that at NYC.
We did see a few. We saw a few where it's like, I can't believe this guy. I mean, the amount of money he probably spent on a table for it to be this unorganized.
Well, remember the guy who we saw who had the huge books and almost all were raw?
Yeah.
You were looking at his
Thor.
Gem 83, right?
Yep.
And he let you take it out, and that was great and stuff like that. But I was like, bro, you didn't even put this in a new bag and board.
Yeah.
It's like a couple $1,000 book. You can't take it out of a yellow bag and make it look as nice as possible.
Crazy.
Like,
it was crazy.
Was he asking a couple thousand for it?
He was asking $7,000 for it. I think, wasn't
yeah.
it? Or was it 11?
That's a shitbird
I'm gonna
right there.
he had really nice raw books.
He had banger books.
He had a whole
too.
one raw. He had I'm gonna put my.
And he was certainly nice too, but it was just
Very
it was
nice
like
guy,
Dolph
but
said, it was like
like
how much money did you spend to be here, and then you look like you stopped at Home Depot this morning to figure out your display. Like,
you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, and then there was that other guy too, Dolph, that had like the Bronze Age books that were just in piles on like the 3 tables, and there was actually some decent stuff if you like shifted through the piles
there was.
But it was like, I was worried that I was going to touch something and the whole stack was going to fall over because he didn't even have them in short boxes, Chris. They were just laying flat
piles
on top of the tables, in piles.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he have a couple in a case, maybe?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember whether he had a couple.
But it was like a sports card case, so they were like all over each other, and there's maybe like 6 books in a case. Like, it was weird.
Yeah, because there was like he had like a couple Golden Age books or something like that in a case. I was like, this is bonkers.
Yeah, it was really odd.
Yeah,
it is nuts. So that's my experience. It wasn't completely bad.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I'm dealing with the element that I was hoping to not have to deal with.
How much of it do you think is like a lot what you guys experience or whatnot? Like, how much of it is you have to build an audience, or that doesn't apply to this because it's just like a small eBay?
I did well on Whatnot right out of the chute. I think Chris did too. Like, I did 2 sales of that Star Wars action figures. I did amazing on.
Yeah, I did really well with the Star Wars figures.
Yeah.
But I did not do very well with comics at all.
Well, the first time I ran vintage football for Richard, and I think I did okay. Then I did a mix and match my second time around where I did vintage football and vintage baseball. And then as I was doing baseball, everybody's yelling at me to sell football. So
right, and that's the one I watched, and you didn't have enough people. You didn't have enough people in the room to create any kind of back and forth.
There were 2 guys, and then a third would hop in and out, and they would bid up each other. But yeah, some cards were going for way under what they should have, and then I'd throw out a random Walter Payton, and everybody would get active and crazy on it. But like I think it was just maybe the age of my audience was younger, because I had like, Johnny Unitas was selling for $1, but I put a Walter Payton out there that should be $1. It's only a $2 card. It sold for $18. I'm like, all right. So it's like, it's just name recognition, but how do you guys not know who Johnny Unitas is? Like, these are some superstar Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Like, if there's any players you should know from the 70s, it should be those guys. Joe Namath, Johnny Unitas, Earl Campbell. Like, that Earl Campbell rookie, I think, sold for like $8. It's like a $50 card.
Yeah.
So I ate shit on some, but I did well on others. So it was crazy how it worked out. I mean, it all kind of worked out. But the Star Wars figures, I bought that guy's table in Pennsylvania for $100. I think, what did I make, Chris? Like $500?
Yeah, you did really well.
$600? It was crazy. Those 2 Boba Fett's alone was $200.
Yeah, I tried going in there and being your hype man for a minute.
Yeah, you did. What was that?
So why did you stop with the Whatnots?
I stopped with the Whatnot is because I don't have Star Wars figures anymore, and I'm back to vintage cards, and I didn't feel I did the way I was supposed to do. Also, I never ever ran a comic sale on Whatnot. I should have given it. It's
so niche.
Yeah, I should have given it a shot, but I don't want to start books at $1, and I certainly don't want to get yelled at for not. And from
people are ridiculous with that.
I've heard from a lot of people, if you dare start books at $2, they'll rip you apart. And that's kind of why, even though I'm Junkyard Breaks, I never did a break, because I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with the bullshit. The community, they call it. I mean, they say the community as it's like a happy place, but really, they're ravenous. They're not. It's not. Yeah.
The Kensington section of Philadelphia is also a community, but it's not necessarily one that you want to go run around in.
But they're a community until they don't get what they want, and then they'll rip your hide. Like, they'll just tear you apart. I mean,
I've been really, and again, I use Instagram as just a vehicle to kind of like, be in the comic community, meet other people. There's some folks that like all my posts, comment and stuff like that. I met this awesome dude from Arizona who's like an old school hardcore guy too, Chris, and he's real cool about commenting on my stuff and whatnot. And that's what I like. I like, finding these people that share common interests and are very supportive. But yeah, there can be some, like Michael said, there can be some of these people, like the one Facebook group, the comic group that I joined, there were some people who, inherited a collection and so joined a group just to try and get some information.
Yeah.
And the people were either D-bags to them or tried to essentially like steal the things from them, and I was like, this person like led up with, I'm not 100, I don't know exactly what to do, just looking for some information, right? Like you can be honest and still be the person who gets a collection for a great amount of money. Every collection I've bought so far, I'm not saying this is going to work for everything, but like every collection I've bought so far, I've been pretty honest and upfront with the people, and
yeah, it's the best policy.
it just and again, that's I'm not trying to toot my horn. I'm just trying to be like, that's who I am and that's what I believe, and it just makes it feels icky. The other route feels icky, and certainly
I guess I'm a scumbag because I totally just gave that lady at the yard sale what she wanted for those bugs.
Chris, there's nothing wrong with that. If somebody tells you what they want too, yeah. I mean, I've been at the I've been at flea markets. If they want $1, there is some onus on the person.
I'll give you $1.
Yeah, she wanted $10 a book.
That's why I go into most collection buys. I'm like, what do you want? And if they give me a price and it's fair, and even if it's really unfair, maybe I'll throw them a couple extra bucks. But it's like, if that's what the number that makes you happy, that's what I'll give you.
Sure. Yeah, I think there's some situation. Yes, I say when I buy a collection, I ask how many books is it, like what titles are included. What would you consider the average condition to be, and do you have an idea of what you'd like to get out of it? Those are like the kind of the 4 questions I ask up front.
My favorite is when they find out that you're probably going to resell it. My favorite comment is, well, what's stopping me from just selling it the way you do it? Nothing. Go for it.
Yeah.
Sure. Time.
Good luck to you.
Time and effort. That's
no problem. That's what I said. I said, do you have the time and the resources to onesie twosie everything?
The last this collection I bought, the ladies collection, the 80s collection, I had in mind already, kind of like in the chamber, if you will, like it's 250 books, like you'd have to sell them individually and stuff like that. And she and her husband were like, well, it seems like it's about 300 books. We don't really have a way to sell them individually. Yeah. Thank God they were like, very cognizant of the actual difficulty it would take to move them individually, and it's just not worth their time, money, or energy.
All
right, Dolph. Let's see what's up.
You're gonna like some of these.
I'll probably like all of them.
I mean, I got some of these.
I don't know who's in the chat, but hello everybody in the chat. I'm not on. I'm doing other shit.
All right.
We got Michael up in here. We got Joe. What's up, Joe?
Ghost Rider, Volume 2, number 31. This is the second appearance of the Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns?
Yeah.
9.6.
Nice.
9.6. I got this for $30.
With shipping?
With shipping.
Holy guacamole.
Yes. These are some really good ones.
Holy crap, look how red I am. I got a red backdrop over here.
I got a 9.8 Gears of War.
Nice.
This movie's coming. I bought this for $150, which is a little under market value. I think they're going for like $175 right now. So
yeah, but that's a great book.
It's a good
black cover and
good investment buy.
I think I saw something about the print run. It was considerably lower on that than a lot of those titles.
I love these. Marvel Premiere number 55. Wonder Man. I got this.
I have that book.
Got this for $12.
Yeah.
Under the grading cost. I love when you're getting books. I don't care what the grade is. When it's cheaper than the grading cost, then it's just...
Bro, that is half the grading cost.
Half the grading cost. So, you paid me to buy this off of you.
Pretty much.
Even though it's a 7.0.
That is very literally a get it out of here price.
This was a cool one. $28 for this. This is a Krull number 1. I love this movie when I was a kid. Had to have it. $28 is so cheap. You're gonna.
I love how you'll nostalgia buy.
I do nostalgia
Great.
buy. I love it.
I do that with Star Wars stuff all the time. I'm just like, yeah, I want that.
This one was too cheap to pass up. 9.8. First appearance of Jessica Cruz.
Yeah.
Nice.
Justice League 31. I got this for $60.
That's great.
And she is going to be in the Green Lanterns TV show, so I think.
Remember how I got robbed? Mine's a 9.6.
Yeah.
And we were like,
Right.
where is the flaw? Oh, that's right. There's
Right.
no grader's note, so you couldn't
Yeah.
know where the deduction's from.
You're going to love this one, Chris. This is a Kanan.
Hey, I see it.
But this is the animated cover. This is either the B cover or the C cover. This is
I think it's a C cover.
No,
Is that
actually,
one?
it's a
Is that
D,
issue
it's a
one?
D
Is it
cover.
a D cover?
D cover. These were so when I bid on this.
Which one is that?
It's the comic, the Rebels cover. So
Is it issue 1?
it is issue 1. So when I looked up the fair market value on this on Go Collect, it was like $450. I got it for $160.
Yeah.
So this was nice. I like this one a lot. Goodbye.
Oh, I have the number 2.
Oh yeah, nice. Now you guys know these because I was kind of buying them as we were talking a couple weeks ago. I did get this, which is just a rando Amazing Spider-Man 138, but it was a 9.0. First appearance of Mindworm William Turner, but it was $50, so you know, ASM 138, nice cover. Thought it was pretty cool. $50. Now I got Vince. Like I said to Jason, I thought I had this in my collection already, but I did get my Iron Man 155.
Nice.
That one's nice.
This is the other Kanan number 1 that I have.
Oh, nice.
So the 1 in 25 variant.
Oh, very cool.
I thought I had that one, but it was the number 2 that I had that was like that. This was the variant I was thinking.
And then I got a 9.8 Spider-Man. You guys know I've been buying this book.
Mm-hmm.
This was cheap too. This was under $100, like $90.
And you got didn't you buy the variant with the masks on? Too?
Yes, I have the masks on variant. All right, now I got this book is I've been wanting to buy this book for so long. It's my Silver Surfer 1. 4,
Thick.
5. This is a thick
It's a thick boy
case too.
Yeah.
This one's a lot thicker than the other ones. And then last but not least, I'm sure if Jimmy's watching.
Gimme.
Jimmy's watching. The bad boy. Silver Surfer 4. This one I swear, I could clean this one.
What are the condition issues? Because the color looks awesome.
The color looks awesome. There are no condition issues other than, it's got some spine wrinkles, but it is dirty as hell. I might crack.
I was going to say it's like 14 grades off of a 9.8, so there's got to be something wrong with
this. I could totally clean this up.
Yeah.
Turn this into a 4 or 5. Not a 5.
Well, what gets it to a 4 or 5 is what I mean.
It could just be that it's really dirty. It's soiled.
Well, there are creases. I mean, again, it's like 14 grades off of a 9.8, so dirty doesn't get it from a 9.8 to a 3.5.
No, there's no creases. The staples aren't coming through. The spine is intact. There's a little tear on the bottom, maybe a 1/2 inch tear on the bottom. The top looks intact. Like, it might be worth rolling the dice. It's definitely creased. Like, this hasn't been pressed or cleaned.
Your magic, man.
It might be worth rolling the dice on it, because I don't know, between a 3.5 and a 4.5, it's probably a few $100s.
Sure.
So that might be worth it. That's it for that. No more comics.
No more.
Joe's in the house. You got any cards that you want to show?
I don't. I haven't bought. I mean, Joe saw the two 48, the 48 and the 49. Those are the last cards that I bought. There's a show this weekend, but I think I gotta save my money.
Are you doing Meadowlands this year?
So if I can get into this show with my friend Alex at wherever he's gonna be, because we get like a strip of tables, like he'd get 3 and I'd get 2. If I can stay indoors and not worry about the weather and just do a once a month show instead of a weekly thing, which was really taking its toll on me. I mean, listen, I'm 47. I can't be waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, spending all day in the heat to come home, sleep until 9, like cat nap until 9, and then be up all night. Is
that that's a monthly card show that Alex is doing?
Yeah.
It's just cards, not comics?
Just cards, not comics, but that doesn't mean that they're in the Venn diagram of collectors. It wouldn't hurt bringing a couple long boxes just to see what they do. I probably would do that. At least give it a try if it doesn't work out. But I mean, last time I went to that show, her show, is when I bought the first Gambit and that the Wolverine. What number is that? 360, 361? What number is that?
What?
The Wolverine with the claws and Hulk is in the.
No, that's 340.
340. Thank you.
Yeah, 361 is the first Carnage.
Oh,
ASM.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I know every once in a while somebody doesn't show up, and I was like, grab give that a shot like a couple times this year if you had the availability. But if
I gotta tell you guys, like, there's a couple of guys that I know are at this toy show.
Yeah.
That like have some great stuff that's not always priced the best. So like I'm gonna try and get there as early as I possibly can.
That's cool.
Get my table set up and then go
run over there.
Stuff before, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's in Altoona.
Altoona.
Where's that? That's like 4 or 5 hours from here, isn't it?
Well, that's where the cold front was coming from. Groundhog Day. It was gonna roll right through Altoona.
Right.
And right past Punxsutawney.
Thanks, Bill Murray.
Yeah, they're much closer on a map than they are in real life.
Are they really?
Yeah.
My friend, I got a friend that lives out there.
No fast way to go from Altoona to Punxsutawney.
And when is that?
What's that?
Your Altoona show.
Oh, on Saturday.
Oh, this Saturday?
Saturday, yeah. It's small too, Chris. They're trying to do it every couple months, but you know what would be worth it though, Chris? If I can get into well, it's a haul for you guys, but if I can get into the Pittsburgh show in June to sell, it is only comics that and it's downtown Pittsburgh, so I'm pretty hyped about that as an opportunity.
Nice.
To have 100 vendors that are only comics, because I keep having friends who are like, well, why don't you want to do things where you're not competing against other comic people? I was like, well, the thing is, like, my 5,000 books are going to be completely different than 5,000 books the guy next to me. Sure, there's going to be a lot of those same 100 books or 200 books, but there's a lot of different inventory too. That's the nice thing about comics.
Oh, I did get I got the A cover though. There's your Spider Boy.
Okay.
Where is he?
Duff, did you ever
Spider Boy?
Did you ever look into the church card show? Like, did you ever talk to your friends?
I never did. No, I should. Details? Yeah, I should. You're right. I keep forgetting to do that. It's only quarterly though. There's like 4 a year, or maybe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's not that often.
And where is the show that Alex is doing? The monthly one, is that in a mall or?
That is at a college.
At
least she's trying to get into a college. I don't think she has the deal yet.
Those things can be really tough because if it's got any kind of state funding, it's very difficult to sell crap. Like, I know at Penn State, you basically can't sell squat unless you are like a Starbucks that's in the Union building or something like that. You can't really sell stuff on the campus.
All right, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let me get back to Zoom, share the screen, go to there, share. There you are. They're back to the old way, not the side-by-side.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Go on Classic View.
The good old days.
Is there Classic View?
No, I'm saying that this is Classic View.
Oh, this is Key Collector Classic.
Key Collector Classic comics.
All
right, let's do
so this. Do either of you have this one?
I do not.
I had one, but I do not anymore. You know, this was funny. A long time ago, when I was first getting to know like Henry and Rick at the store, some guy runs in and says, I'm cleaning up a garage around the corner. You guys want to come take a look? There's some comics in there. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll go take a look. Henry's like, I can't leave this store. If you find anything, let me know. I'm like, all right. I mean, what's fair is fair. Like,
sure.
He's coming in and he's giving an opportunity to the store, not me.
Sure. Yeah.
So I did buy a short box, and this was a first print Ninja Turtle 2 was in that short box for the store. But I did, as a finder's fee, got a very nice copy of Transformers #1, so I did get something out of it. But the set, and I did get that short box for $10. So I bought this for the store for $10. The sad thing is that there must have been 50 short boxes of Fangora and Starlog and 2000 AD. And
ooh.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that just ended up in a landfill. He threw it all away, and I could have loaded up a truck for $50, and I just didn't have the patience or the room to put anything in. So it just
they were all those kind of magazine titles.
It was all magazine titles. There was only this one short box of comics, and honestly, the Ninja Turtle 2 is the only real book in that box. So, but
sure,
to get this for $10, you know, the store did all right. I think,
yeah.
And the shitty thing is, I think Ian ended up buying it from the store for like nothing, whatever.
Yeah, I mean it's really interesting. I don't know if you guys watched Lunch Money Comics. He's a relatively new channel, but really going pretty strong on Instagram, or not Instagram, YouTube. Sorry, and he's in New England, and he has found like Turtles 1 third print, this, and he's like, it's actually crazy. This is what we've talked about before, right? Like,
I mean, that's where you would find them.
Could we go to near Ohio State and find more Bone comics?
Yeah.
Because
right.
You know, like it came from there. Like
how many 35-cent Star Wars ones are in Kansas or Oklahoma or whatever that is?
Yeah,
that's where they all are.
I mean, yeah, it's so interesting. Like
Texas.
This idea about you know, just going to that area to
it's
try and
funny. That's really
try
cool.
and hunt for them.
Yep.
But yeah, this is actually really interesting. If you look at the what the 9.8 sold for versus the 12-month average, like, man, that's a big spike back up. And these Turtles books have been so crazy. Like, I mean, just, you know what they look like? They look like
I also don't like when they go to the new publisher. Like, not new publisher, just the new stock and the new style. Like, the first 4 are, like, my favorite. But after the first 4, it's something less nostalgic about them. Like, they're more overprinted and whatever. But I love the first 4 titles that are, like, this newspaper quality. They're so freaking cool.
And so hard to keep in good shape.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting too, because you know, there's what's that issue? That's 62 issues, right? The Mirage run, and they really go through like 4 distinct kind of trade dress appearances.
They really do,
stuff like that,
yeah.
Right? Because like 4 or 5 issues, they go to that 90s kind of like Ninja Turtles, where it's like, you know, like poorly drawn scripts.
I mean, there's some where. I think it was the Cerebus cover where it doesn't look like anything that they've done before. I don't even think it had the trade dress on it. It was just Cerberus, and it was like a mirror or something. Like, it's just some they did some outside the box covers on some of them.
The last like the last 12, they look like
they look like 80s posters. Like,
yeah, right.
They're really weird.
Right.
Yeah, they look
or
like video game covers. Like I just looked at Rick has 2 9/8s and 61, and I'm like, this is just a weird book. It's
a weird. They're weird covers.
Yeah, it's inconsistent. It's weird.
They got to be hard to get 9/8 too, because that black is jet black on those covers.
Yeah, and then
they
all the rubbing.
They remind me of the reprints of like the Marvel titles that had the unnecessarily large black border with the OG cover in between. I love how many times I've seen on Facebook somebody selling one of those as like a Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, I want to see the fourth. I bet the third or the fourth print is going to look so weird. Yeah, look, there's the third print. Doesn't look anything like the second.
Yeah.
And what is it? It's like, is it 2 or 3 years after?
Yeah, something like that.
See, I think I sold this one.
That one?
I had this one, yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird one. They did that with all the third prints.
My number 1 fourth print is in your basement right now, which is the first one that doesn't have the OG cover.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a weird one too. Anyway, but, this is one that I'm currently looking for.
A 9/8 up 32% at $3,330.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But a 7.5 still commands $465, which is
it's a lot of money.
Pretty good for a 7.5. So
yeah, it's a lot of money. Nobody has this one.
Nope.
Next.
Do all 3 of us have this one?
I have 5 copies of this one. I have so many. I keep getting them. They just keep falling in my lap too, like in collections, or it's just too cheap to pass up. Like
this book really dipped low. I think Aaron's copy is in your basement to clean and grade, I want to say it's probably going to be a 9.6, but a 9.4 this week sold for $313, up 35% from the 12-month average. So it's really kind of wacky how this thing has oscillated, and those are direct prices. $850 for a 9.8. So I'd imagine the newsstand is considerably higher than that.
Does it have that?
Pardon me?
No, I was just scrolling down to see if it had newsstand.
No, it doesn't have any newsstand sales. And then this one obviously definitely has a Mark Jewelers. So
yes, which is probably what I would seek at this point, since I have all the copies I need. Would be a Mark Jewelers copy.
When this book is in great condition, it looks so cool though,
really
because
does.
the blue cover is really cool. And so much 90s color. That hot pink is very absurd. How pink it is.
It's got a bit of shine to it. It always has.
It does.
But is the continuity, the first appearance stuff, debating its value now, or is it not that annual 14 isn't biting into this first appearance?
I think what we've seen is in all these things is like the Hulk 181, Hulk 180. This is still going to be that one is different,
because this one is like he's got a full-on 9 panels with
he's in 28 panels. That's with crazy. multiple instances of dialogue, and then but they just keep saying
15 panels, 10 instances of dialogue. That's crazy. Like that's a first appearance.
Right, and other characters refer to him by name.
I think Storm says, "Hey, Gambit."
Right.
Yeah, but wasn't one of them not supposed to come out before the other, or something like that? That's the argument.
Oh, is that? I didn't know that.
Mon Chéri or something.
It's still a great book. I love that he's on the cover too. You don't see that often on first appearances.
It says Uncanny 266 was written as if it were to be published prior to the annual. Therefore, 266 would be the first chronological appearance of Gambit in story or in continuity. I do love, too, this is not a diss to most of the community, but, when you read some of these, and then you read a lot of comic book posts where the grammar is so poor, you're like, are you really nitpicking the continuity of what should have happened first? Like, you can't even manage to type a 12-word post without 12 grammatical errors. Like, are you? But continuity is where you've drawn the line in the sand for the English.
They're that mad about it that they can't type it.
So, I mean, obviously, this is one you always want to pick up at the flea market, right? If you see it.
Yeah, and you will find these at flea markets for sure.
Sure.
Next.
Oh, my baby.
This is my baby,
you guys
too.
Both have this one, right? And Dolph, you picked up a Mark Jewelers, right?
I have very nice Mark Jewelers, like at least a 9.6.
I have a newsstand and a direct, and I really want a Mark Jewelers.
Yeah, I want to get that one graded big time. I wouldn't even know what it goes for. Like 9.6.
It goes for a lot.
Yeah.
Like, let's see. We're looking at. I've seen somebody selling a 9.0 Jewelers for. Now, keep in mind this guy's prices were extremely high, but they're usually not far off. And he was selling it for $1,500, $1,600.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd move off of that one. That would be a PC one for me. That would stay in there for a while. Those Mark Jewelers you just don't get.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's a great one.
First appearance of Dengar?
Yes.
It's not that Empire Strikes Back book?
No, that's the first cover appearance. Cameo.
And this has I mean, Boba Fett, but the character featured in the book is the German Mandalorian, Fen Scheisse.
Scheisse.
Does this play? Does Fen Scheisse
He
play?
rocks. He rocks the brown armor.
Anything from the TV show that made this pop, or just Mandalorians in general? Again?
I think it's just Mandalorian in general. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's such a killer. I mean, that's such an amazing cover too.
It's
right?
a great cover, yeah.
Like, it's so good.
Mm-hmm. All right, number 6.
The next one we certainly saw.
It's another debatable book.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're clearly, Kanan's on the bridge. Oh yeah, no, that's a good one. Kanan's on the bridge, and the whole group is turned around, and they all have dialogue. It's like
right. This is clearly their second appearance.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
Chris,
still
$1 a piece. I got these last year.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that. I know.
I was like, I was flipping through these dollar things and saw these Kanan books, and I was like, well, number 6 can't be there because the 1 through 5 weren't there. I was like, holy crap! And then they were just there in chronological order.
There it is. Love those, man.
I'm wondering if
this was a good read too. I actually really liked this book. Like
the whole series. That series was great.
It was really good.
I don't know if I have. I thought I had a raw copy. I know I have a 9.8 and a 9.6 graded.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 9.8 selling for $5.49 this week.
$5.49.
Still
big dip from the 9.8 and 9.6 at $2.17 for a 9.6.
Well, that's still up from where it was.
Yeah, no, it's the average 12-month average had been $181, so it's up about 30. What is that? $36.
Yeah, if my book comes back a 9.6, I'm pretty disappointed. I just lost $350.
Mm-hmm. Here's a Kanan number 1.
Oh, the Scotty Young.
Scotty Young.
I think I have that one.
You should.
I think I do.
You're a Scotty Young head like myself.
Yeah.
Raw number 1, number 1.
Reading order. Next read Kanan the Last Padawan number 12. I don't remember it jumping like that.
It doesn't.
That's weird.
That is weird.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, we all knew kind of these. This was another one of those books though that like cooled off considerably, like Heir to the Empire, and everybody knew this was coming too.
Yeah,
so
I mean, Ezra was cast. Sabine is cast. Like
kind of surprising.
Everybody's cast.
People didn't pick these books up. So
I everyone's cast, but we also have our first appearance of Zeb last week in the Mandalorian. So that might be why this is kind of picking up again now.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's gonna listen. This is a surefire. It's gonna blow up.
Oh yeah.
It may not stay blown up as big as it gets, but it's going to blow up.
Well, here's the thing. You buy them now, they're hot now, but you buy them now, it's only going to be a few months before Ahsoka comes out in, November, and it's going to blow up again. So even if you buy them now...
And I think if they do these characters as right as like the Star Wars kind of fandom wants them to do, I mean, all these characters have life, right? They have... It's not a cameo. It's not one episode. These characters are with you for multiple seasons of the cartoon and stuff. I think that's probably why people are so pissed about what's his face getting gunned down in Boba Fett and possibly actually being dead, right? Because
Cad Bane.
Yeah, because like he's such a.
But the question. And you having not watched it, the question is, are they going to continue where Rebels left off?
Right.
With Ezra and Thrawn.
Right.
That's the big question, because then it's not like they're not going to just retell the story. Although they can retell how Ezra joins the group. I guess that is interesting.
Oh, on Lothal.
Yeah. It's a great story.
Yeah,
so
it is a great story.
Yeah.
My book's not in danger of being a 9.8. It's probably like a 9.0, but for $1, I was not gonna.
Still for $1.
For $1, I'm not leaving any of this stuff behind.
A book and another $20. You still got room.
Yeah.
All right, you're buying it. If you're seeing it, you're buying it.
Yep.
You're damn right.
I guess this one is just an interesting. I mean, it's certainly spec, but just more like fandom, I think, than anything. Like, because we already know these characters met in Daredevil. We just know that both these characters are going to be back, and we know that Kingpin's going to be an antagonist in. If they do what the Born Again storyline, he'll be the antagonist, and then we know he's going to be. They set up for Echo for him to be, obviously a big bad moving forward in Echo too when that happens.
Well, did you see the news for the next Spider-Man?
No.
So Sony, I think something got out where they're going to say that the next Spider-Man movie will have Kingpin as the bad guy, but also have Daredevil, Echo, Kate Bishop, and Hawkeye. All as because they're pretty much grounded superheroes, so they all kind of live in the same universe where they're not they're not aliens, they're not immortal, they're not
right. They're Hell's Kitchen, they call street level.
Street level. They fight with bows and arrows, and they're like fisty punchy guys. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fisty punchy.
They're fisty.
Is this? Sorry to break it up real quick. Is this a Hughes cover?
It looks like Hughes. Yep.
That is a Hughes cover. Yeah.
I was gonna say
he doesn't sign them all.
No, but it looks like his. But I wanted to make sure because sometimes
he did that Catwoman run.
He did a bunch on this Catwoman run, and there's like 2 of them that are like
they're nice covers too,
decent money, and then the others aren't that much.
Yeah,
but yeah, the covers are great. It should sell.
Number 90, the one with the red cover, is big money, and then the one where she's wearing or has the lineup is the most expensive.
I have the one. With the what is it, the mugshot?
Yeah,
I have that one. I don't have the red cover, but see, like this one. This is a cool cover too.
Yeah.
This is definitely Hughes, but yeah, the mugshot one that's staying with my PC.
This next one we have to have like 5 between the 3 of us or more, if Dolph, how many of this do you have?
I have 1 graded 9.6, and I have 2 raws, I think. That 196, is that a newsstand? I think it might be a newsstand.
We didn't really talk about that Daredevil 183, but the real value in that is reserved for the 9.8. Oh
yeah, of course.
That is a book that is a book that you're going to be able to get like 25 bucks for 20.
What is
20 to 30 bucks for a clean raw, but
the one I just bought was what, a 9.2 or a 9.4. I bought it for $50. It was too cool not to have.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what it looks like. Yeah, I think they were going for like $64, so whatever. This is another one of those debatable first appearances, because anybody who knows anything, that first Satana, is it a Satana? That magazine where it's Rocket Raccoon, not Rocky Raccoon. Or Rocky Raccoon, not Rocket Raccoon. It's a different freaking raccoon. Oh, Marvel Preview 7. It's not even the same freaking raccoon, but they keep saying that's his first Rocket Raccoon. I don't know.
This book is really interesting to me because it's got age, but for whatever reason in the upper mid grades, it just doesn't see any premium over the lower mid grades. So like if we look at it this week, a 5.5 sold for $138, a 7.5 sold for $150, and a 6.0 sold for $130. So there's like almost no movement all the way up to probably an 8.5, and then a 9.8 is going for almost $1,200 in a direct, not even a newsstand.
What's a 9.8? Because Kevin, I was consigning those books for him. He had a 9.8 newsstand. I said, don't sell this. He sold it for like nothing. I'm like, what are you doing? I saw him at the Quick Check the other day. I was like, what are you doing? Why did you sell that one? And you had a 9.8 newsstand Deadpool. I was like, this is the worst time to sell it. Like, he's got a movie coming out in a year and a half. Sell it then.
Did he sell the 9.8 newsstand Deadpool?
Yep.
That book has bounced back already too, and so
I told him. I said you can get 5,000 for it. He's like, I sold it for like 2,800. I was like, stupid. He's like, yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, this book, your 9.6 Dolph is probably at least a $450, $500 book though.
Yeah, probably.
I think.
I think I paid $250 for it.
Yeah, I
paid
great.
$250 for it.
Because a 9.4 newsstand sold for $375 this week. Doesn't show any of those sales in the upper grades for the direct, but I'd imagine that's probably where it's at.
Well, let me see. I can look mine up real quick and see if
it's just really interesting the lack of movement in those 5 to 8 kind of price range, and that's kind of why I sold my 7.0 because I didn't see really historically over the last 2 years there's been so little movement in this book in all of those mid grades, and there's just not a lot of movement there. So
I have a 9.6 direct and a 7.0 direct. I only have 2 copies.
I do not have this book,
but they're both slabbed.
Oh, good.
Fisty Punchy, you got it, Michael. Licensing fee. I'll send you a contract on every time you use Fisty Punchy, you owe me a penny. Next
Shazam 1.
I don't know why this is still on here. That movie took a shit. I loved it a lot, but it took a shit. And there's a whole lot of bad blood too, like between what's his name and The Rock, and they're just like whatever.
Why did the movie tank so hard, do you think? Like, because the first one, the expectations were low for the first one, and it did okay.
Oh, the marketing was terrible.
And now now it just there's no way it's going to make its money back.
No,
and it's not a bad movie.
The Rock sabotaged it. The Rock refused to do a crossover with Shazam. He wanted to do Superman because he thought that's where the money was. Because of course his arrogant ass only wants to push the Rock agenda. So he refused to do any crossover with Shazam, which that's what should have happened. You should have had, I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago, you should have had Black Adam at the end of Shazam at the end of Black Adam, and then you had your crossover movie, and then you bring in Superman. But no, they didn't do that. They wanted to go right to Superman. That's what DC is guilty of this whole time. They're rushing it to the end without establishing anything.
I was driving to Lucy to work the other day, and I promise this will actually run into what you're talking about right now. But she loves Taylor Swift, and we were listening to one of these songs, and I was like, Luce, you know what? I was like, when is Taylor Swift? I was like, I think Taylor Swift is very obviously insanely intelligent, super super talented. I was like, but I don't know if she's got that much emotional intelligence. As Lucy's like, what do you mean, Dad? And I was like, well, she seems to still be butthurt about everything, even though she's probably a multi-billionaire, and she's still butthurt. And that's how I think about like The Rock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, are people still slighting you? Because who is slighting you at this point in time that you need to, didn't you sell a booze company for like $500 million and all this stuff? Like, you're doing all right, right? Like, why do you got to always be beefing with people? It just seems bonkers to me.
Not all right enough.
It just is like, and I'm not saying like obviously money buys happiness, but like it's gotta help a little bit. And
I mean,
then,
the timing of it all is really weird, though. You hand the keys over to James Gunn while Black Adam is still in the theaters, and basically they had a meeting and they told Rock to go F off. Like, yeah, your shit's not happening.
I like it.
I like it too. I like it too. Who the freak?
Do you think?
Who revolves a universe around a bad guy? You don't do that.
Not in DC, you don't.
You establish all the good guys and then introduce a really bad and a really good antagonist.
Unless you're the Suicide Squad.
But they're all protagonists.
Yeah, but they're bad guys.
Well, they are. Well, they are. But they're not. They're
anti-heroes.
Anti-heroes. They're still good guys. I mean, they're still. They're still the heroes of your story.
Of that particular story, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but the whole point is they come together as one to fight a unified bad guy, where
to fight an even badder guy.
But The Rock is trying. He was trying to create a universe around himself as a bad guy. Like, so he's got to just, I guess, if you're creating a universe, they just want everybody just to take his punches for 5 movies until he finally gets beat at the end. Maybe, if Rock would allow that.
Do you think if that was an in-person interview, like an in-person meeting, like they made maybe some prop shirts to say like we can't smell what The Rock is cooking or something along those lines, like never could smell it, or we smell it and we don't like it.
We don't like it.
We smell it and it stinks.
It stinks. We've smelled what The Rock hath cooked.
Yeah.
But you have to say it like John Lovitz. It stinks.
It stinks.
I was acting.
You remember that cartoon, the Critic?
The Critic was great.
That he did. It stinks.
It's so good. Lovitz is awesome. It's national treasure.
National treasure that needs to be.
My favorite John Lovitz bit ever is in The Wedding Singer, when the curtain's slowly closing. He's like, he's losing his mind, and I'm reaping all the benefits. And
I love this one.
Yeah, this is an incredible book. Like, I just think such an amazing Ditko cover. And this one has really been
about Shazam 2. I liked Shazam 2, actually. There's a couple of flaws, but I did overall think the movie was okay.
I haven't seen it yet.
The one that sticks out to me, though, is that Mary Marvel stays Mary Marvel because she's over 18. But that kind of kills it, because the whole storyline is about Billy Batson coming of age. So what are they going to do in like 6 months? Is he just going to be the kid turning into the kid? Because that's their logic. Why Mary doesn't age, he shouldn't age.
Well, what do you?
Mary Marvel, when she turns into Mary Marvel, is the same person. She's just not a different actor. She's the only one that doesn't change. And
is it because they were able to hire a wildly attractive woman to play her?
So Michelle Borth was Mary Marvel in the first one,
right?
So their logic was that she's 18 now, so she's an adult, so she just stays Mary. But that doesn't work because the whole story is about Billy aging out of the foster home, which he's going to be 18. So does that mean he just stays the kid? Like,
right. So it's not
the
going to be.
logic makes no
It wouldn't be
sense.
Zachary Levi anymore. It would
No,
be
it wouldn't be Zach Levi. It'd be the kid.
Interesting.
Yeah, it makes no sense. They created their own logic for the film, and they just they're gonna. Well, there's not gonna be a Shazam 3 anyway, so.
Yeah.
You know what I think about that logic?
Yeah.
It
stinks.
Yes. Call it.
Acting.
Dolph, you do a pretty good Lovitz.
He does do a good Lovitz.
I love Lovitz.
He just loves to love Lovitz.
I love Lovitz.
This book actually is scary, sneaky expensive.
Yeah.
A 9.8 of this book is $10,800.
I think.
Whoa.
I think Rick has a 9.8. He bought one for like $1,200 like 7 years ago. He loves this. He loves this cover so much. He bought one.
Well, he loves Spider-Man.
He loves Spider-Man. He knows
a
Spider-Man.
A 2.0 this week sold for $200, and also a 2.5 this week sold for $165.
Yeah.
So
you got a great
happens
bump on these charts.
You got a grade bump and a $35 discount.
Yeah. There's like a 4.0 sells for $500, but you could have got a 6.0 for $350.
But this book is really interesting because this we talked about this many times long ago, but like the power of the cover. So there's no significant like thing. They say debut of the new power, but no significant key significance in the inside of the book. But a 6.5 of this is selling for $449, which actually rivals issues 1 through 20, the books that don't have some major first appearance or something like that.
Well, actually, the Craven and the Rhino, like in 3.5s are now $500-$600, so it's like 3 grades lower, but still the same price point. Those books are staggering now.
Like this, six grade.
In the first 20s, like those in a 3.5 would rival a 6.5 of this one.
Right.
But these are all sub number 50s. We buy all of them, no matter what.
Right. And and this cover is just
it's a great cover.
Anyway.
Yeah. This is John Romita, right?
33. This is still Ditko. Ditko does 1 through 38.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't sign his covers. Not that.
Well, he didn't sign much of anything, so.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's still Ditko. Stanley and Ditko.
Yeah, because Romita comes out friggin' swinging with issue 39.
Yeah, really.
Hard to actually beat that.
It's a nice though that they go from one to the next because Romita really takes the torch and runs with it.
Yeah, I think Ditko created a style that was lend itself to the kind of covers that Romita would do, though.
Exactly. Yeah, you're
right. Flash 123. I just have a feeling this book is going to bomb after this movie comes out. I don't know what you guys are feeling, but I've seen a couple of excerpts from this movie, and the Ezra Miller speaking parts looks like he was still on some sort of drugs when he was filming the actual parts. I was like, this does not seem like it's acted all that spectacular,
He's
that
just
well.
A super goofball. That's not goofy, but just stupid.
Yeah, it's weird because he doesn't do that all that well. You know what I mean?
But this is an ongoing theme, even in the CW TV show, where the Golden Age and the Silver Age Flashes meet and help each other. This isn't just a movie concept.
Yeah, I don't think it's a flash in the pan.
Yeah,
but this book is so expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, a 6.5, $2,500.
I don't know where this falls in the Flash, because is Flash 123.
And this is either late Golden Age or
Showcase is the first Flash, right? That Showcase book.
Showcase, no, isn't the
one where
Flash,
it's got film in the back of them? Isn't that not the first Flash? That's the first Barry Allen. I mean.
Oh yeah, Showcase 4, right?
Yeah, Showcase.
No.
4.
Is it Showcase 4?
Showcase 4 is Green Lantern, isn't it?
Yeah, Green Lantern. I think you're right, though.
That's the first Barry Allen. So now you got
Showcase 60 or something like that. I forget what it is.
Yeah, it might be. So now this is what the hell's his name? Oh my god. Wow, it's Garrick, right? Jason Garrick? Is it Jason Garrick? No. Oh my god. We need Refaust. It's Garrick. I know it's Garrick, but that's his first appearances in that what is it? Flash. It might be Flash 1.
Yeah, it's just really interesting. So, aside from that first appearance of Golden Age Flash in the Silver Age, key issue of the multiverse concept, first mention of Earth 2, but a 1/0 of this book is selling for $490.
Yeah.
A 5/5 is a $1,200 book. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
Jason
I don't
Peter
think
Garrick.
Peter Garrick?
Jason Peter Garrick.
Yeah, Jason. All right, so I was right, Jason. I was thinking.
I don't think this book is going to tank by any stretch of imagination, but
no.
But this book seems like it has that what is it? FF4? No, what's the first subby in the Silver Age? 3. You know how that book got to like it's getting these levels where you're
crazy numbers.
You're like, that book is rivaling FF1 in some ways, and I think this book is similar. Like there's going to be some of the tie-in to.
But now that FF2 is going to start like going up because of the Skrull first
Super
appearance.
Skrull, yeah. Anyways,
you're right.
You don't pass up anything that's 10 cents, for God's sakes.
No. But you're right, though. This Flash book will probably just, stay hot until the movie comes out, and if you haven't sold it by then and you plan to, you missed your window. Wow, we're at number 1 already?
Yeah, we are. This is yes, we are. Yeah. Now, how many of these do we have collectively? I only have 1 left.
I have 3.
I'll look up. Oh, I can't.
Dolph's like 20.
I don't think I have that many. That's funny.
So a 9/8 direct sold for $1,425 this week, 36% above the 12-month average.
So I have two regulars, 1 newsstand. I also have that first catalog. And I have that first. So if you look up Thrawn, you know the ones I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I went crazy.
Dolph, if you click on the variants, it'll show you all these ones.
Well, the variants will just show the newsstand and the.
No, it should show the preview too, won't it?
Really? No.
So there's the one that's $1, and
I don't have this one from the comic packs. I have 2 newsstand or 1 newsstand and 2 regulars. But I was talking about.
Then there's
how much is that comic pack going for?
Which one?
The comic pack is going for how much?
Oh, I lost it.
$230 on the high end, Chris.
Dude, I don't even count that. I still have that in the package with the figures.
Do you?
Yeah. The comic 2 packs I collect, it's like the only figures left that I keep for myself personally.
Very good.
Dolph, what was the newsstand? Remember, because I called you and said they have this newsstand. Did you get the sticker newsstand or the non-sticker newsstand?
Non-sticker. This one.
Okay.
Which also has a different paper quality.
Mm-hmm.
It was very different.
There is right now, you guys, on eBay, as of buy it now, there is an 8.5 newsstand.
Mm-hmm. This is the
right?
one. These 2 are the ones that I bought. One of each of these 2.
There is right now a lot that has an 8.5 newsstand graded with pressable issues, and the other 5 all in newsstand, and a couple other books for $200 as a buy it now.
What?
That's not bad. Let's take a look since we're done.
That's what I'm doing right now.
$3.99 for a newsstand variant. I do love me this book.
There it is, Dolph.
This one right here?
Yep.
Oh, 2 days left though. Somebody will buy this.
Let's buy it now. Yeah, $200.
No, this isn't a buy. This one? This isn't a buy it now. Which
Isn't
one
it
are
a
you
buy it
looking
now?
at? No, $200.
Or is it
no
200
bid.
the opening bid?
Opening bid. 2 days left. 96550. Newsstand $249 best offer. There's a 5-book run newsstand. That's not bad. There you go.
The book
Chris,
is
right there.
The book is so volatile though in the
Where is it? There it is.
This is the first 5 books. Newsstand. It's a nice copy.
Yeah, looks like a nice copy.
Except for that, it's got a little corner ding on the bottom.
Little
so,
dog ear, yeah. That'll take it down by 4 grades.
Of course.
Okay, what do we got here?
Remember that was like all that was wrong with Mindolf. Had that color breaking quarter bat, went from a 9.8 to an 8.5.
Yeah, but then you had that one with the big scratch down the cover, and you got what, a 9.2?
9.2, yeah.
Unbelievable. It's like I don't know what you're gonna get sometimes. It's like
this 8.5 is gonna stay an 8.5.
I'll be right back.
There's a nice big old freaking ding, couple a color break spine ticks right along there.
Chris, remind me, that has a it's not necessarily cardstock, but it's a heavier stock, right?
No,
the direct.
It's really not.
No, it's not.
It's really not. It's not like Marvel thin, but it's. I
have my Mara Jade here somewhere.
I mean, it's still not a bad price for what's here.
Here's my Mara Jade is really nice shape.
That which one is it? The number.
Cover.
Yeah. I think I have like 6 of them.
Yeah, I got this, Chris, for $4 or something like that. Last year.
Nice.
I got this one and the one that turned into an 8.5. I got them for either $3 or $4 a piece at a flea market, and the one that turned into 8.5 just unfortunately had this freaking color breaking quarter ding, and this one didn't have any issues.
I'm looking for this this newsstand set.
Oh yeah, it's not cardstock, but it's definitely heavier. It's heavier.
It's definitely
is it?
Yeah, it's heavy. It is a cardstock. It's a light.
I would have said cardstock.
Glossy
$249.
Yeah.
$249 or best offer.
Yeah, I would have said cardstock on that.
Yeah.
But mine is not. Mine's almost feels like a catalog. Like it's weird. It's like very thin paper.
Well, the newsstand, right?
The newsstand, yeah.
And I think
that one was a newsstand, so maybe there's 2 variations of the newsstand. That's why you asked me if one had the sticker on it, because there's obviously there's 2 newsstands, but I'd send it. I'll just have it graded. And they'll just put it on the label. They'll tell me what it is.
Don't tell me if it's green, purple, newsstand, not newsstand. Don't tell me whatever.
Wait till you see my next auction buys. I got some good ones.
We just see the furrowed brow of Christopher.
What's he looking up? He's trying to get another heir to the empire. Now's not the time.
Do you see Do you see?
Well, I'm looking at what like at that newsstand set. There's a good spine tick right there, color break.
Do you see the prices though? This is what I was saying. Like
bottom
why I moved on from my 8.5 copy, because I was like, right now, I mean, the 8.5 is up 48% this week from the 12 month of $98. So it's basically like I got almost twice the grading fee for no additional.
Do you have yours still?
I sold my 8.5 this week.
You don't have any other copies though?
I have my 9.2.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah.
I'm not going to sell the 9.2. That's why I would sell the under copy.
Yeah.
But I think the 9.2 can go a lot higher than $204.
Right.
Especially if they do Thrawn proper. it should be a book that'll stick around, right?
I hope
Like
they do them right, man. There you go.
That's my 8.5, which has less damage on it than
Jason's 9.2. Probably.
yeah, no than the newsstand one.
Yeah. I love that book still. And I still want to get a Clone Wars one. I want to get another one.
Oh my god, I still need one.
Chris, why don't you just sell a couple of those and get that one?
I've been trying to sell a couple of them.
No, I mean, like, even your Heir to the Empire is hot. You got a couple of them. Sell one, keep one, work your way towards a clone one.
Do you have one of mine?
I can go look for you if you want. I don't know
What
if I do.
I'm not sure.
what do you think you have to where do you think you have to get to buy a decent clone?
1,500.
Even raw?
Yeah.
Wow, is that high?
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to get the 25 to get a graded and a 9.8. Just be done with it.
I've been watching those Filoni copies for a long time now.
Oh
I was
my
hoping
God.
to sneak one for like 3,500, but
Yeah.
I don't have any money
They're
anymore.
yeah, and they're not dropping at all.
Because there is only, what, 200 of them? I think there's 200 of them?
I think there's more than that, but not
I think
much.
it's more than that. We'd have to look.
It might be 500 tops. There's definitely
That's what I think.
not 1,000.
I think it's a 500.
It might be 500.
Let me take a look up here real. Tag and Bing.
I read that. That was pretty good.
These are Marvel.
It says that the print run was 1,000.
Oh, there is 1,000 of them. Huh.
Special edition Dark Horse, limited to 1,000 copies.
I thought there was less
10
than that.
copies of this book were distributed to 100 retailers selected via a lottery.
That's crazy, too. You had to get a lottery to get that book?
Also, what do you want
Wow.
to bet? What do you want to bet that some of those retailers did not put 10 of them on the shelf?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
No.
They kept
You know,
them for
like,
themselves.
yeah.
Well, that's some major foresight, though, because Clone Wars, I don't even know if that book came out after the first season or before even the cartoon aired.
2008 is when the book comes out, so it has to be
2008
after, right?
is when the show aired.
Is that when the show first aired?
Mm-hmm. When you guys were talking about it, I looked it up.
Oh, there's 2 more directs.
Yeah. So it could have came out with the show's airing, or just after, or just before, one of the others. But you'd have to have some serious foresight to.
I mean, even the direct Clone Wars one, the copies ordered by retailers was 24,508.
That's a low
So
print
in
run.
2008, what do we think the freaking newsstand has to be? 10% or less, right?
Yeah, less than that.
In 2008. So
Specking hard on the Mara Jade
Mary
cover.
Jade.
3 of these are newsstand.
Mary Jade's a good
One's
cover.
direct.
That's what, 3? Is that
4.
number 3? 4.
Oh, yeah, it's number 4. Well, I guess I could sell these 2 directs.
I'm sure you could put something together. Or you can get that book.
Yeah, but then I have to give my stuff up.
That's true.
I don't like selling Star Wars stuff.
I don't even know. So what?
I can sell everything else out of my collection and not give a shit. And every time I have a Star Wars, even if I have like 12 of them, I'm like, I don't wanna.
You're looking at them now. So what? So all right. So $750. You can get a Clone Wars 15 watchers. So a lot of people. I love when you have a lot of watchers on a book.
Mm-hmm.
there's a Clone Wars one right now with 15 hours left. It's at 65 bids already. $455. It's raw.
Huh. Yeah, but how gnarled up is it?
It looks pretty. It actually looks pretty nice, which is probably why it has 65 bids already. Always interesting though, like, you know, somebody who has this kind of book, they list it on like a Friday morning, right? Like 15 hours from now is what
Yeah.
It's like 3:00 tomorrow afternoon. Like, what a weird time to have your listing in.
Mm-hmm.
But $455 already with 65 bids. There's clearly going to be some action on that. Chris, there's a 9.0 right now graded with 21 hours left. That's only at 411.
I don't want a 9.0. That's for suckers.
9.2 Filoni, 13.25, 25 bids, 2 days left.
13.25.
13.25 for a 9.2.
Here's some doubles.
Yeah, that 9.8, $6,800. Wow.
I got these. I don't think this is worth too much, but I know all these number ones.
Yeah, the legacies.
Are a couple bucks, and then the Adam Hughes.
Throw it together.
Number 2s.
Throw a package together.
I don't
9.6 for 1,200. Oh no, that's the newsstand.
Yeah, people are not going to get that.
I want that Filoni cover. 23.35 for a 9.2.
Yeah, there's a 9.2 right now. There's a 9.2 with 25 bids with two days, 23 hours left, and it's already to 1,325 for a 9.2.
I gotta look at the sold listings for that Filoni book. Let's see. All right. Here's one, a 9.0.
So Christopher, you're trying to go for broke on the Filoni book, or you want a 9.8?
I think he just wants to get in the game. He doesn't even have a Clone Wars 1.
I'll take any grade on the Filoni. It doesn't matter. I'll get a 5.0 if I could get one.
So a 9.2 sold for $1,400.
That's not terrible, considering.
That's not terrible.
It's not great. It's not ideal.
I would be happy with that.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to see what the cheapest 9.8 is right now. So there's a 9.8, 2,500 or best offer direct.
For
I don't even
the
see
regular cover.
Yeah.
This one guy's got a lot of these Filoni covers, man. 9.4, 1,500, 9.6, 2,600, 9.0.
He clearly owned a shop when the 10
he might
10 come to the shop.
Yeah,
he kept all 10 of them.
He took all 10, had them slabbed, and he's throwing them up there now.
Jackass.
Is it the Golden Age Guru? Is that who it is?
Yeah, it could be.
Did he get them all in that collection?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, that guy wasn't was he a store that he bought the collection off?
No,
of? He was just an individual guy.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that on my way to work, walking to work today, and I was like, holy crap, that guy must have been spending a lot of money.
Yeah, who's buying 10 copies of one book? Like, he had how many of those Damien
25 copies of a lot of books.
He could have saw something. A lot of, there's guys that were just specking on stuff and dumping crazy amounts of, like, how many people bought, like, Death of Superman thinking it's going to be worth something?
Right.
Let's say each week he just said to the store, give me 25 copies of the six books that you recommend for this week. That's still like 25. That's 150 books at $3 a piece is $450.
Yep.
Like every freaking week.
Yeah.
It's a lot of moolah.
It'd be interesting to look at these Clone Wars 1s and see if anybody has failed to identify that it's a newsstand.
I always look for that too. If there's like somebody posts it, or it's like that one time I got that X-Men book. They failed to even say that it was a freaking Mark Jewelers. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Let alone a newsstand. They just put the grade up there. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This
one's funny too because the barcode is the same exact shape. It just says Star Wars Universe instead of direct in the box.
Yeah, I got a couple of these.
Is that Jackson?
So no. That's
right?
number 2. That's first Obi-Wan. But I got 2 of the
35s.
The reprints.
35 reprints. The
Walt Whitman diamonds.
The Walt Whitman bridges.
The Walt Whitman.
Couple number 4s. 4s are going for something these days, yeah?
Sure.
Got a couple of those.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, Shane.
Acting.
2 number 6s.
What's up, Faust? Just as we're winding down.
Faust coming late, but coming in hot.
Faust is coming in hot.
A beautiful annual.
You guys, here's one that's not so. Oh no, they do. So there's an 8.0 newsstand for $995.
I think Jason wants to get in the game.
No.
No,
But
you don't
not
believe
at that
believe
price.
in Ahsoka Tano?
Oh, I
You don't
believe in
believe the hype.
Ahsoka Tano, but you know
Now-
I believe in the book coming to me at the flea market too.
You know, I would take 4 9.8 Dr. Afras over a 9.0 Clone Wars.
That's crazy. Of course you would. It's
I
498.
I believe.
over a 9.0.
Well, a 9.8 Afra is only $120.
Yeah,
Well,
let's put it
$9.8
this way. If I did,
$120 now.
I'm
No,
conflicted
for a
to the
Dr. Afras?
for a 9.8 for they can't be that low at this point in
I
time.
think
They were like $500.
I think they are. Let's see. Was
I'd
it
be-
Darth Vader 4?
I'd say it's got to be at least $225. Yeah.
3. Darth
Three?
Vader 3.
Oh, it is 3.
I mean, I haven't looked
bad
at
Dolph. Bad. 9.6 $199. All right, maybe
Whoa.
you're right. 9.8. Well, I don't know. This
Look at
Yeah,
sold listings.
they were like $300.
$300 for a 9.8.
You
270,
don't piss around.
274 for a 9.8. White
Yeah,
pages.
see, right around $300. That's what I said.
So what did I say? $100 bucks.
You said $100.
What did I say? What did I say?
What did I say?
40% of what it
did I say?
actually is.
$100.
AC says 10%.
There's a La Roca for $4.99. No
Really?
No bids. 3 days left. I should get another La Roca. I got to get my La Rocas slabbed. I got
a 9.6.
That's the one thing that I don't know if you noticed.
Rafaus, what's your total from this week? By the way, we had a good week on the.
Crush the
we had a
like.
good
Thank
week
you,
with
sir.
top 10.
I got
We had a good
one
week
copy.
with the top 10.
One copy of Spider Boy, and I didn't even get the good cover. I got this is what he put in my box, bastard.
I'm
I've been trying to sell this. Nobody wants this.
What is that?
It's a
Spawn?
Clayton Crane, Scorpion Comics,
Oh.
first host Venom.
I'm gonna say Rafaus has 5 of 10 this week.
5. I didn't even know what I had. I only missed one, right?
You had a
Oh
bunch.
no, What's that?
You had a bunch. You don't have the.
I didn't have
first
Flash. I didn't
Flash,
have
and you don't have
TMNT.
Turtles, and that's it, right?
Oh, I had the rest of them. Probably.
Yeah, you
there
have
weren't,
Kanan.
there weren't any weird ones this week.
You have Kanan 6.
Yeah.
You had Hulk 271.
Sell
Yeah,
this one off.
Yeah, you could sell that one off.
Not worth nearly as much as it was.
Ooh, Rafaus only got 3.
Oh, I don't
Rafaus
have. I don't
has-
have Spider-Man 38.
I bet you Rafaus has Spider-Man 38.
bet
I
you.
think Rafaus has Spider-Man 38. I think he has Hulk 271. And
You're just
what else
going.
do I think he has?
He definitely has Spider-Man. That's right up Rafaus' alley.
Well, he's been picking off Spider-Man, early Spider-Mans
Yes,
on
he has.
on the Heritage and on the interwebs these last couple
I've
weeks.
been liking his ASM polls. They're very nice.
So I'm going to say he's got those 2, and I think he's got X-Men 266. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh yeah, of course.
Get rid of this.
Oh, the Jock cover? Is that signed
Yeah.
by Jock?
It is.
Oh, nice.
It's signed by Stegman, Jock,
Whoa.
and Cates.
I was wrong. Faust says Shazam, Daredevil, and then the Gambit.
That.
Not the Spider-Man.
Here we go. Boom.
There it is. 9.6.
That's a 9.6. I have the 9.8 over in the I'm never selling this pile.
So, Chris, you just need to sell like 25 of those books, and you can get your Filoni.
Yeah.
And you need to get like the $200 price. You need to get the $200 price.
I'll get offered like $20.
Yeah, right.
Friggin'
jackasses.
Duff, you know what I was surprised I've seen has kind of like maintained the value. It didn't see a big dip. Is those Bloodstone books haven't crashed. Which
I was surprised that man thing is pretty strong still. I guess even though it hasn't appeared in the top 10 list, like everything revolving around that man thing has done well.
Hey, what are you doing with that Spidey Doom cover? You gonna get it graded?
Yeah, I gotta look through that stack again. I kind of put it back there. I never really looked at it. Maybe I won't decide anything until we'll look at them together.
Hold on, like 1 sec.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
I definitely gotta make my money back, so I gotta get them graded.
Yeah.
And then we'll work something out on that one book.
Well, how about if we should watch those turnaround times, because if those turnaround times are true, and we don't have to pay the fast track for modern submissions, and we can do it at 30 whatever.
Modern's fast anyway.
I'm sorry, not modern.
Economy.
The economy.
Yeah.
If we can do our economy submissions and get them back, what was it, 24 working days, which is
something like that,
like 5.5 weeks. Holy crap, $33 is way better than the $50 with the fast track.
Sure.
Gives you a lot more meat on the bone, and that's the way to do it.
Yeah. All right, so these were. You never answered me, Jason.
What?
I said I found these two in my stack with Doom covers.
Oh, nice.
They're not anything like crazy, but if you want them, you could have them.
It's cool, Doom.
Is that the same? Is it the same face?
Yes.
Yeah, repeated like a yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
it's like in the same.
I see. It's
like the same plate.
It's like a recycled. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. But if you want them, you can have them.
It's so lazy.
Chris, did you see Dolph's? You saw that Spidey cover where it's the Star Wars homage.
It's a great cover.
It is a great cover.
No, I didn't see it. I'm actually going to the shop tomorrow. Finally.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Nice.
Rick's very upset with me. He's gonna be even more upset when I only spend like $200 instead of like $4,000.
I think he'll take anything.
At this, well, I told him already. I was like, I could come in and just start picking them off.
Dolph, I saw your card post the other day. What did getting selected for those Bowman boxes mean? Do you have to get into a running with those Bowman or a drawing? You said you got the.
Oh no! On Topps.com, they were selling a oh my God, why can't I think of it? A bundle. So 2021 Bowman Heritage bundles. So you get a hobby of 2021 and 2022. And,
okay.
So I bought 3 bundles. I did already in the first one. I got a Garrett. I have them right here, actually. I got a.
I'm surprised there's any of that stuff left, considering how crazy the hobby was there for a bit.
Nice Garrett Mitchell auto in the 2021. He hit 2 home runs.
Very nice autograph.
Yeah, he had 2 home runs off of Scherzer the other day in the Mets game.
Take that, Scherzer.
But yeah, I got some good stuff and all the rookies. So 2021, I got all the rookies from then. And
did you get your big card back yet? Did you get it back?
Video tomorrow.
Nice.
Tune in. 12 o'clock. The video of this the greatest card pull in my life is published tomorrow at 12. Check it out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go full court press and do Instagram and everything for that just to make sure.
Well, this is just the opening, the unboxing. I have recorded the CGC return or the PSA return on another video. Okay.
Okay.
So when I do the PSA return, I'm gonna do a bunch of like social stuff for this. I'll do like a short, and I'll do some Instagram, and then because it is without a doubt the biggest thing I've ever pulled in a pack of cards. It's unbelievable.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
but I did get it back from PSA. I did get another card back from PSA. I that Tiger Woods Sports Illustrated for kids.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the uncut sheet for, I bought it for $300. He packed it really bad, and it actually bent when I got it. And I told him, dude, it's bent. The way you packed it, it crushed it. Well, bent it, not crushed it, bent it. There's a key word there. So I actually pressed it like I would a comic. And
Yeah.
I pressed it flat again, and then I very carefully folded it.
It's the middle card, right?
It's the middle card. I very carefully perforated it, sent it in, and it came back a 9.
That's awesome.
A 9 is a $3,000 card.
That's
Nice.
awesome. I don't ever. My friend and I were trying to understand exactly when PSA is so nitpicky, how in God's name you accurately grade a perforated card, like
if it's slightly off center, there's going to be yellow in the perforations because the next card over, it's the next card over will have. So if it's not perforated correctly, because the other big one is the Rock Bumblebee Tuna card is perforated, but I also think it's the quality of the perforations. Like I went over the perforations and flatted them with a ball bearing and a bone knife, so I pushed everything back out, which was pushed in. So I pushed it all back out.
On a regular card, they're very, very
I get it. Like
very hard on 4 edges.
Sure.
And a perforated card has like 81 edges.
Yeah, like
so,
how would Beckett do anything with it? Because Beckett's got corners and edges. When it's perforated, you're like, I don't know. It's just kind of like a free for all.
It's got a number of ellipses.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if I was really hoping for a 10, I had a 10 would have been over 15 grand for that card.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. But yeah, I got a 9, so that's awesome. I knew when I got upcharged on the grading fees that it was going to be either an 8 or a 9.
Nice.
Monster
that's awesome.
card.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I got it here.
Now, is that a book? Is that a card you that's something you want to part with and turn into something better, don't you? Or is that something you want to PC?
I might PC this one. This is Tiger Woods' true rookie card. I might PC this one.
That's got to predate the Upper Deck card by like 4 or 5 years, right?
The Upper Deck card's 2001. This is from 1996. Right. Yeah. So this is his true. This is the other true rookie, his Masters card. This one, they fucked me on this one because it's got a crease right here. This card did not have a crease when I submitted it. And it really
you didn't have a crease. You only had the fact that they were bricking, right? So you had some white edges.
So this one I bought after I opened up a box of them and they were bricked. I went out and got a single gold foil card, which was beautiful. This should have been like an 8 or a 9. It came back a 5 because there's a crease right here, which I did not. That's not me. So I think they just creased it on me.
Snow mine.
Yeah, there's a couple that came back. I was really disappointed. My Kobe rookie came back a 6. I was so bummed with this. I made a trade at the flea market. I gave a guy some vintage stuff. I gave him a Thurman Munson 71. I gave him some other stuff in trade for this. This card's worth like $50. So that guy made out all right.
Do you feel like there's a real rhyme or reason to some of the modern stuff? Because I've seen some folks unbox online, really knowledgeable people, and they'll be like, "How is this a 6 or how is this a 7?" Like
you'll see from my unboxing videos when they come out. Like every time that I open up more PSA cards, I'm like, I'll open one up, see the. I try to predict every time I do a PSA submission.
Yeah.
So I have listed on a piece of paper, like, here's the card. I think it's either an 8 or a 9, just like
Chris
Sewell does it. So I'm pretty on. It's either like the low end but there was a couple where I predicted like a 7 or an 8 and I get a 4 and I'm like, I have no idea. No idea what happened there. And so it's
this is why I dropped an F-bomb on this channel when we were opening my CGC box, right? Because I was like, what
I feel like I can predict. I'm much better at predicting comics than I am cards. Cards, I don't know. I can hold a comic in my hand, give it a quick look, and be like, that's a 4, or that's a 2/5, or that's a 6. Like I can kind of pick up on all the cues that one would see, like, covers wrinkled, spine split, there's a little tear here. Like, when you look at a comic, you just look at its biggest deficit and start from there. That's the best way to do a comic.
And I would say that you don't see tons and tons of comics unless they were never bagged and boarded that have like these big surface scratches and stuff like that,
But like, I guess what I'm saying though is that if the cover's dirty, and it's got a 4-inch tear, it doesn't matter if it's dirty or not. It's the 4-inch tear that you're gonna just say, bam, that's it. Or if it's like it's got like a cover chipping, you're gonna start from that. You're not gonna even bother with the dirt.
Crazy the cards with the centering, like how subjective like 60-40 versus 70-30 actually is, and then how much they determine it impacts the grade. I was like, that would drive me bonkers, because like, and especially because so many people grade so many cards, like it's completely dependent upon it getting a 9, not a 7, or when people grade.
SGC is doing. They're using basically AI to determine surface, corners, edges, and centering. So they're not like PSA is still people.
Yeah.
But SGC, they puts it down on a basically a glass plate, and AI determines what its grade is.
Well, that's what we talked about, right? That's what we talked about 18 months ago. Like, comics are harder because they have interior guts and stuff like that. But cards, you can even get from the manufacturer like a master set, proofs. This is what it looks like, pristine copy of 1 through 300 or whatever the set consists of. And the grading companies could buy those, train their visual software on what perfection is for that set, and there shouldn't be any subjectivity in it at that point in time.
I mean,
I'm sorry, what is it?
Objectivity.
Yeah, no, objectivity, and it is the subject. You're grading that subject.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry too. Like you said, there's a front, there's a back. That's it's pretty easy. SGC.
Yeah, it's 11:30. I'm going to turn into a pumpkin.
All right, man.
I'll catch you guys later,
see you next week.
See you guys.
Yeah, sports cards is tough, man. Just when I think I got it, I don't got it. Really, it started out with that. I come from old school baseball card business, guys, where to me it was always corners. Corners meant everything, and there wasn't very much like emphasis placed on edges or
and the centering was just about eye peel, right? Like, it's like
definitely something that was 60-40 is certainly tolerable. But I learned a very hard lesson in my first PSA submission. I put in a 69 Seaver, which I thought was beautiful. Comes back a 5, and it was 70-30. I mean, and obviously everything was good except the centering, and the centering they just hammered me on, and I was like, for it to come down that low, it was just stunning to me. I thought maybe 70-30, maybe I get a 7, because everything else was so nice. Like
pre-war stuff. When I watched a lot of guys open pre-war, it seems like the thing. Obviously all that stuff matters still, but it seems like the actual surface matters way more for those things, because do they have some sort of tobacco residue on it? Are they filthy, right? Like,
well, that's
is
why
there...
the old Cracker Jacks are so hard to get in high grade, because they were they were with Cracker Jacks, so they got
right.
oil
There's
stains from the
whatever,
caramel and the butter. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
but I love those cards. The Cracker Jacks are beautiful, but if you get them in high grade, good God, they're worth some money. But here's the thing.
Two cards you got recently were gorgeous. Those.
Oh, I have them right here. They're beautiful. Especially that Rizzuto. I mean, that card is gorgeous. But
there's something too about them being in those SGC.
I love the SGC.
They're so cool.
Such a nice slab. But like I was saying, like I feel like in the early days of grading that there was a grading scale based on age as well. Like you got away with more from a golden age book than you would a modern age book, just because the quality of paper, the amount of time it's been on the planet.
Sure,
like all that stuff was more flexible the older it got.
And I think there's some of that, but
I don't think so anymore. I think it is what it. I think it is what it is, because I've seen a lot of these old cards, tobacco cards and Leafs and Bowmans from like the 40s and the 30s, that you're gonna get like beat up cards. You're not even gonna get a 1. You're just gonna get an authentic. Like, it's a card, but it's not. It's so gone that it's not even a 1 anymore.
Yeah.
I think all that is used to be okay, but now it's not okay. Like, you can get a lot. You can get away with a lot on an Action 1 10 years ago than you would now. I mean, you see like those old slabs. Like, you see old 9/8 CGC slabs with the the baby blue sticker at the top. You know that 9/6 is probably not a 9/6. Like, they probably were a little bit more lenient with their grading.
Sure.
Not the way it was now. Maybe a 9/6 is a 9/2. Like, you're gonna look at it differently. Like, you're not gonna say like that 9/8 old CGC label, unless I don't know. You send that into CGC, do they not think twice about it and they'll re-slab it in a 9/8, even with an old label, or do they try to regrade it?
I can't. You mean for a reholder? I don't know. I don't know. I doubt it.
Because it's just it's new eyes. I wonder if they look at it again. I guess that maybe they're just moving the inner well into another slab, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, what we were talking about before, you can do the same thing, at least with the front and back cover of a comic. Though you can do the train the eye to look for any of the defects that reduce the quality of a comic book, and then still a human's got to count pages, look for look for soiling or cutouts in the interior of the book, and judge page quality. But aside from that, the front and back cover, you could just imagine how much faster the process would be if they were able to do that for just the front and back cover, and how much a lot of that crap would come out. Like, you wouldn't get all these 9/6s that really should be 9/8s. That
I think if AI were to start doing comics, the grading would be so strict, 9/8 would be next to impossible.
Well, but what I mean is you train it, so you have to say, like,
you would have a standard like this is a 10.
You can't have like the rookie grader. You have to have that. You have to have, what was the fella who was like considered like the greatest grader, who was like the CGC guy, and then he left?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Well, he's the one who started Beckett, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, he's the one who started. He started CBCS when he left.
CBCS,
yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have somebody like that define the the 0.5 to 10.0.
What is the best grader? All it is training. Like, you and I are still learning, but I mean,
sure.
The longer we've been doing this, the keener eye we have, and anybody
I guess like maybe somebody who's considered the most consistent. I don't know.
Honestly, it is the easiest to grade from a 9/8 to a 9/0 than it is anywhere from a 2.5 to a 5.5.
Sure.
Those are much harder to determine than the top 6 grades.
I mean, the books that we already got back from my Silver Age collection, we knew the Star Trek would be high, right? Mm-hmm. But the other ones was like, I don't know. It's gonna be between a 4 and a 6.
Yeah.
Like some of them, I was like, I don't know, because like I've been somewhat hesitant to send in the FF48 and 49 because like in my mind, they're. I think it's probably a 5-5 and a 6 to a 6-5, but they could both come back 5s and I'd be really disappointed, like But I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we were even surprised on some of your books, your Spotlight 5, your Ghost Rider. I thought it was going to be lower, and I think it came back a 3-5 or
no, it came back a 4.0 or a 4.5. It came back 2 grades higher than I thought it was. I thought I had it at a 3.0 or a 3.5, and it came back a 4.5, and I was like, what? Yeah, but then then the Batgirl though came back like 2 grades lower than I thought. So.
You mean my Batgirl or your Batgirl?
No, mine. That was that whole submission. That was the Guy Gardner, the Ghost Rider, the Batgirl. There was a couple other.
Right?
The John Stewart, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's you're right. Those middle ones are the ones that are just tough.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, it's the middle ones. I think even when you get to like 7.5s to 9.0s, it's pretty easy to tell. Like even the examples, like I highly recommend this book for everybody. It is a great book. Is the official guide to CGC grading comics. Like you and I talked about, just the one section on the where is it? It's the pedigree section is so cool. Yeah, section 7 is the index of all the pedigrees.
Yeah,
it is such a cool section.
But I mean, how neat would it be? How cool would it have been to see a pedigree, right? Like even just like Golden Age Guru did that video where he got to go down and see the Promise Collection before the auction started.
Yeah.
How incredible would that be to just, this is the highest graded Riddler on the planet. This is the highest graded.
And they're all together for the last time, which is that's a special moment too.
Because they're going to go
spread out all over the world. Yeah.
2,000 different points in the world as opposed to one spot. Yeah.
Yeah. But when you see some of these, you're like, it's just one guy who wrote a little letter C over on the right side of the top.
Right, that was his
title, and
that was his nomenclature, right?
Yep. I mean, some of these are so cool. But anyway, like this one's got really good pictures though for like this is what a 3.5 is, and it gives you like everything to look for. And if you're just trying to train yourself, like like we say, we're always trying to be better. When you see what a 6.0 and a 7.0, the difference between them, it's pretty good information.
Sure.
9.2, there's not much between a 9.2 and a 9.6, but it's just enough.
Yeah, how good would that be if you have like a 10-book submission that you really, like we were texting Chris today, like, listen, you got to make sure, don't go ahead and spend all that money on the verification and stuff like that and go with CBCS, which is going to be a lesser, that if you're not sure that you're going to get more than that out of it. Because
I don't ever want to tell, like he seemed pretty jazzed about doing it. I don't want to tell anybody they shouldn't do it, but like I said, it doesn't make sense to me.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, nobody's forging Kevin Eastman's signature. And it's a pretty easy signature to proof. Same with Steranko, or was it Sienkiewicz?
Sienkiewicz, yeah.
Sienkiewicz is another signature though, that him and Steranko are both like, they're pretty damn obvious, like they're hard to like bluff. It's
Steranko's is like actual
exactly.
Very easy to read,
like
and
when
then
you see when you see Bob Kane's, like it's I got a couple of Bob Kane signed books, like
and Sienkiewicz looks like his artwork. It looks like dreamy, almost.
Or it's like when you see a Simonson, like when he does the dinosaur, like that's an obvious Todd McFarlane. These are signatures that they don't bluff them.
Always thought how like ugly McFarlane's signatures for somebody's art I like so much.
I
how
know,
like
you're not a fan of them. I think it's just very him. But
I get that, but like the fact that the line is like the drops on his M's are so wavy and stuff like that, which is interesting because he's got such a clean hand.
Who else
he did
was
a
on
recent
there?
Instagram video of him drawing on his Wacom tablet,
Yeah.
and how clean the lines were the first time he drew them, and I was like, that's hilarious. And then he goes to sign it, and still like
it's still jagged.
Yeah,
like an 80-year-old man with Parkinson's.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know what Sakai's signature looks like, but that was on there too, wasn't it, Stan Sakai?
Yeah, I want to say his is very legible. That it's
I thought so too. But either way, like nobody's faking these signatures. So like for him to spend the $80 to get them, was it 80 a signature?
No, it was
80
he
for the
estimated it would be like $77 per book plus shipping both directions. So probably closer to, 90 some dollars a piece to for the
it's like
grading.
I think if you just have good pictures of the signatures, I think people will be fine with that. I don't think you need them verified.
Because the worst part about it is, like, now he said the books are very clean, but if the book comes back an 8.0, then it,
then it's the value is based solely on the signatures and not even on the book anymore. Right, you're right. I don't know. I'm not a fan of autographed books anyway.
Yeah, me neither.
But
I actually don't even like the yellow labels.
Although I don't either. But although I will say, I always, when I open up those 60s books, I always open that front cover and hope there's a Jack Kirby signature and ballpoint pen at the bottom.
Wow. I mean, how cool is that, though?
That's so cool. But here's the thing, though. Rick has a first appearance of the Watcher, right? Stan Lee and Jack Kirby signed the inside cover, but it's slabbed. So what's the point?
Right, yeah.
I mean, the whole point is you want to be able to open that book up and look at that awesome Stan Lee next to Jack Kirby and blue ballpoint pen, like there on the inside right bottom, and you're like, where they always signed it back then.
There's something so baller about the fact that they signed in ballpoint pen too, because these didn't really exist.
Right.
I mean, markers existed, but they weren't Sharpies,
But also, of course, that Kirby would never draw over his cover. Like, he would sign the inside. And it's Stan Lee, black Sharpie all over Amazing Fantasy 15, and I want to freaking cry. I hate it. Some guy's he's so proud of getting his X-Men 1 signed in black Sharpie by Stan Lee on the cover. I'm like, oh my God, you just ruined that book. I don't care who signed it.
I think like I agree with you 100%. But I think like the difference between the two, right, is like Stan Lee always had to be like the hype man, and probably is the reason that Marvel made it through things, right? Like, because he had to make business decisions. I don't agree still with what you're I mean, I should say I agree 100% with what you're saying, but like I think the difference between like him kind of being like a signature whore signing anything was just the fact that like he sees the fandom and this is what fuels everything, and
you could see, you got a Stan Lee signature on a Batman book, and he's like, "You sure you want me to sign this?" And like, yeah, I want you to sign that. Like, all right, I'll sign whatever you want. Yeah. You paid the money. It's like, I had nothing to do with this, right? It's like,
McFarlane has this really funny, almost like, I know we talked about it before, but Pulp Fiction with the it's legal to own, it's legal to sell it kind of thing. McFarlane's like, I won't sign a book unless I drew the cover, or I drew the interior, or I created the character, or I created somebody who created the character, or like it was like very complicated.
Did I tell you the list of demands when I went to that Yankee show? I did, right?
No.
So Randy Johnson, everybody knows Randy Johnson, the big unit, would not sign anything that was a Hall of Fame pitcher theme. Wouldn't sign it. David Wells would not sign his rookie card, and would not sign anything that had Yankee logo on it. Wouldn't sign it.
But it's a Yankees event, right?
Yes. But he would sign like a home plate, or like he signed something for me. Anything with a Yankee logo, like a Yankee card, he wouldn't sign any of his Yankee cards. Willie Randolph would not sign anything that had other people on it without an upcharge. And I'm gonna say this:
is it him and Ricky Henderson on the '87 league leaders high fiving? Like he wouldn't have signed.
I'm gonna tell you this: I had a wonderful experience with everybody. Willie Randolph's a douchebag, and then I even almost under my breath called him a douchebag, and the guy behind me is like, Willie Randolph's always been a douchebag. Right when he was about to go up and meet him, like Willie Randolph is an asshole. That guy sucks.
Wow, I mean,
I don't know.
What is the point?
I got to take a picture with every single person at that show. Willie Randolph just outright refused. He's like, I got to get through this line, man. I don't have time for this. I'm like, fuck you.
What, was Don at the show?
Mattingly?
Yeah.
He's always wonderful. He's an awesome dude. He'll stand up. Kids walk around the end of the table, take pictures with him. Like, he's super cool.
I freaking love Donnie baseball.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's like one of those guys where, like, you know, thank God you meet your heroes, and he's everything you hoped he would be. Like, I met Mattingly 5 times now. It's awesome.
Well, it's really interesting. Like, as a kid, right? Like, and I don't know how this actually, you know, I don't know how this actually happened, but like, as a kid, I would try and read about like them in Sports Illustrated or in a magazine, or you know, and a lot of that stuff is, for all intents and purposes, propaganda. Like, they're not really going to say, you know, there was no internet, so it's not like they're going to say that this guy's a bad guy or anything. But I tried to make sure, like, the guys that I like loved, Barry Sanders, Don Mattingly, Pavel Bure, right? Like, I tried to read as much to find out, like,
Barry Sanders is a reputable dude. He's always been a good guy.
Like, are they good people? And
you should read my blog from 20 years ago. I'll send it to you. I have every time I went to a show, I wrote a story about like my experience with all of them. Like, yeah,
I mean, Barry, all you have to do is read his retirement like blurb, his like 3-sentence retirement blurb, and say, my desire to leave the game is greater than my desire to stay. Yeah. I think it's my desire to exit the game is greater than my desire to stay in the game.
Yeah,
like, that's all you need to know right there. Yeah. You know, like you know, he walked away knowing he'd have to repay money, for God's sakes.
When I went up to Ricky Henderson, though, I was the only one there. Like, I just opened the line. I walked up to Ricky Henderson, put my home plate in front of him. He's like, I don't sign home plates. And I was like, what do you mean you don't sign home plates? And his handler, girl, daughter, whatever, she's like, Ricky doesn't sign home plates. I was like, okay. So I was like, I kind of laughed, and I was like, what do you mean you don't? You're known for plates. I was like, this is your thing.
You are the all-time
base stealer.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't sign home plates. I was like, well, luckily my son was with me. He had a Mets bat going because he's a Mets fan. I'm a Yankee fan. But he had Daryl and Doc on a baseball bat. I said, you know, I just looked over at my son. I was like, Ricky did play for the Mets, so you can't have him sign that bat if you want to keep it Mets. So he used my autograph ticket to have him sign the bat. But so I looked up online, and apparently Ricky Henderson keeps signed plates for close family friends as gifts, knowing that that's an authentic Ricky Henderson plate, which I get the logic, but I mean, you're known for plates, dude. Like, I kind of get it. Like, you know, this is a special gift if you're getting a signed. It's like a signed Joe DiMaggio baseball bat. DiMaggio would not sign baseball bats. If you're lucky enough to have one from his early days, it's a rare thing. Joe DiMaggio would also not sign anything that Mickey Mantle signed. So if you had those two on something, there was a point in time where DiMaggio outright refused to sign anything that Mickey Mantle had already signed before him.
Yeah, you wonder, like, is that a personal thing?
It's definitely a personal thing. I mean, Mickey Mantle blames DiMaggio for his knee. DiMaggio blames Mickey Mantle for taking his job. Like, he basically, you know, the DiMaggio on his way out and Mickey Mantle on his way up, he just replaced, you know, one with the other, and he resented him forever. He claims there was no like bad blood, but there was definitely bad blood. And then that first time, I mean,
what, DiMaggio was a rookie in what, 36, right? Something like that.
39, 38, 39.
So I thought it was a bigger gap between the two.
Oh, still 15 years. I mean, Mantle came up in 51.
51, right? Yeah.
But then there's that classic story where DiMaggio's like, I got it, and Mantle pulled up and twisted his knee on a storm drain, and and his rookie year, and that killed his career. I mean, he probably could have played a lot longer if it wasn't for that knee.
But something happened his rookie year for a guy who's revered as one of the greatest baseball players of all time. He had a bad career because he only hit 600 home runs.
Could have had a better career. He never hit 600.
You hear Don Mattingly whining about the fact that he had chronic back issues, right? Like, and
not in public though, but you gotta wonder.
He's not going to be in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, Mattingly misses out on a ring 1 year later.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, you don't hear him whining and complaining. The guy has a chronic back issue.
You don't hear him do that publicly.
Yeah,
I'm sure Mattingly's got to stink about, losing his job to Tino Martinez and they win a ring the year after he retires.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's some feelings there, but yeah, you're right. He's a stand-up dude. He's never gonna be like, I got robbed or, whatever.
I guess my Mantle thing is just like my Taylor Swift thing. It's like, you did all right.
He did all right. But I think, that's where you say, like, the source of the bad blood. That's
Sure.
a big source of the bad blood. He also will never sign anything with Marilyn Monroe on it either. Like, DiMaggio had a long list of his, what do they call it when you, oh my God, what's the word?
Writer.
Writer,
The
thank
writer,
you. Yeah, a writer. So yeah, apparently everybody's like, I was talking to security guys, like, you don't believe some of these things, like these listed demands. You're like, you gotta be kidding me. Like,
I ever tell you in college, like, I booked our concerts and comedians and stuff like that, and we had 311 my senior year.
Yeah.
And they had this big long rider, and I think they were just taking a piss on most of the stuff, because, like, it didn't seem like they really cared. Like, there was some of this oddball, like.
Well, do you hear the story about Van Halen?
M&Ms.
Yeah, that's the story. So did you hear the story about the Van Halen and the M&Ms?
No.
So they put, no, that's exactly right. They wanted to see if they even read the writer. So somewhere in there, they're like, I want a bowl of green M&Ms. They just wanted to see if they read the writer or not. If it's there, they read everything. If it's not, they completely ignored the whole thing and they just did whatever they wanted. So I think it was a joke, but it's also like, do you have enough respect for us to read the document or not?
Yeah. And then I think probably a lot of people, that's really like, you hear some stories too, and the people are like real D-bags if they don't have this exact
absolutely
bottle, purified bottle
when I
water.
Listen to Dana Carvey and David Spade, they're fly on the wall. They specifically got into it, not specifically with names, but specifically got into it because Jay Leno was the guest, and the dude never wants anything. He's like, I'll figure it out. I'll go there. If you got water, I'll drink that. If you got a bag of chips, I'll drink that or eat that. Like, I don't care. I'm not.
Jay Leno was like that.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have a writer. We're a bunch of people. Like, whatever. Right. If you got stuff, I'll eat stuff. If you don't, I won't. But he said, like, on SNL, like, some people would have these, like, it's got to be Evian, it's got to be 50 degrees, or it's got to be 37 degrees, and it's like, it's like, give me a break. Like, and they're for real. They want it like that.
We actually have some deans and stuff like that at Penn State that, like, have these wild demands. Like, and I've actually sat in governance meetings, and an entire building, like, they're like, well, what is the temperature tolerance for the offices? And the guy's like, it's between 70 and 72. And they're like, can it be between 69 and 71? It's like, I guess I could say it would be, but do I really think all 200,000 square feet of this building are going to fall in that narrow window? No, I do not. Like,
does it make you wonder though, if like, those people got to where they got because of those things that they care so much about?
Without a doubt, there are more people, I think, who are undeserving of the positions they got into.
Totally undeserving.
But are the people who barked the loudest, and that's how they got into those roles.
Yes, exactly what I'm thinking.
certainly in my work, I see that
Yeah.
oftentimes.
Yeah. I do feel like that. The people that are the loudest, that speak up the most, are the ones that get further than obviously the people that don't say anything and they just go about their business.
Right. Some of the most intelligent people and some of the most competent people are the people who just go about their business.
But isn't that some kind of confidence too, to be like, I'm deserving of this and I want this?
Without it,
on some level, whether it's socially acceptable or not. Like
right,
some people are just I
think the unfortunate part is like, I can see it a little bit in my role, and I'm sure this is in a lot of jobs. Like there are the way that they've constructed kind of their bureaucracy, like doesn't allow for supervisors and stuff to actually give merit-based incentives, which is crazy, right? Oh, I see you crushing at your job. I actually can't do anything because of the way these levels are structured, kind of thing,
Yes, I do.
Yeah, those things are wild.
That is pretty wild.
Well, your homework for this week is to reach out to your buddy and see about the old lady card shows, the church basement card shows, and I mean, so when do you find out about whether or not you can do these shows with Alex?
I think she's gonna find out soon. It would be a May show, I think.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, which I'm looking forward to.
Do you think
I started organizing some stuff over here, so I'm starting to get organized again with the cards. But I really think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to definitely create a hybrid table where there wouldn't be anybody else at the show. And
I was about to ask.
I would probably try to find one of those like wall book setups and bring a couple of slabs, because I've been buying stuff. I've been buying stuff because they're good deals, not necessarily because I want them.
Sure.
So I think if I can double up on those, I can bring some slabs and throw them up on the wall. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, sure. And especially those slabs you got today. I mean, like, you can sell one for $25. Like, I'm at that point. Like a bunch of those books that I got back that had like the color rub and stuff and went from 9/8 to 9/0s. Like, I'm just, if I can get 35, that money is long spent in the past, right? So like, if I can get $35 for them or $25 for them or whatever in person, because like, to be perfectly honest, if it's a 9/0 and it's worth $25 by any stretch of imagination, it's a 9/0, but you want it as a piece of art for your wall, $25 is pretty cheap painting for the wall, right? Like kind of thing,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you can't even buy like crap decor at Target for $25. So the idea that you have a collectible is
plus it's not a long run either. If you want to collect the entire run and you're missing that piece, like how many He-Man books are there? Was it 30?
Well, that Masters of the Universe was only
that's a hard one though, because there's the mini series, the movie series, and the regular series, right? There's like 3 or 4 titles that all come out around the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
The regular series I think is probably the most like revered, if you will, because it's a Marvel title. It's the artwork is really falls in line with the cartoon style, and then all the characters are there, all the colors are there. The 25th anniversary cover is in that run and stuff like that. So I'm not just saying that because that's the one I have. But, but you're right. Like as far as like Thundercats, this is the only Thundercats run, like, and that's it, but this is the first one. It's called Masters of the Universe with the trade dress from the cartoons, but
and a Hodak,
and so that those 2 books and this one I'm considering pressing.
Sinister, huh?
This one is really nice.
You want it slabbed, you mean?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind holding on to that book for a while, because I do think he's such a freaking cool villain, and he's got
when legs. Is that animated show coming out? Rafaus says nice Punisher 218 you listed.
Yeah, I mean, Rafaus, I'm gonna try and have to give it away at this point in time. It's 9/0 because it's got friggin' color rubble on the back spine.
Thanks, Paul. He said, "Great show, guys. You're the best." Do you have the chat going?
Huh? No,
Yeah,
my phone had died, so it's
Thanks,
charging
Paul.
right now. It's 52%. Yeah. Yeah. The last couple of conversations we've had, I thought were actually great. We not to toot our own horns. Like I feel like
No,
I feel like
especially when we're winding down, we have good
conversationally
conversations.
we have better conversations. Yeah. So
But maybe that has something to do, or it's just you and me versus like us having to talk around the four people. You know what I mean? Like we're kind of like talking over each other sometimes.
yeah, sure.
But yeah, when it's two people and it's just a back and forth, like I speak, you listen, you speak, I listen.
Sure. It's a normal.
But
It's a
yeah.
normal. It's a less of a giant hangout. You know.
Hey Jason, Ricky doesn't sign home plates.
Did Ricky talk about himself in the third person when you were there?
I felt like he did, but he didn't. I think the girl next to him did it for him. Ricky doesn't sign home plates.
I love that.
But
like
him refusing to sign my home plate, he was a very nice guy though. Like super smiley, shook my hand, took a picture, an awesome picture with me and my son. Like minus the fact that he didn't sign what I want him to, he was a very nice guy. So
yeah, I just wish like it'd almost be nicer if they had like kind of a little flyer that says these are the things that they won't
did.
do.
Apparently they did, and I missed it.
Okay, because then you don't ask
yeah.
the question. Then you don't get butthurt or anything like that, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's funny.
So yeah, that's that.
I'll send you the link to my blog though. There's some good stories over the years.
Hey, you met Barry?
Never met Barry Bonds.
Okay.
No,
I've met Barry Sanders. I mean, you met Barry.
Barry Sanders. Never met Barry Sanders. Never had an opportunity to meet Barry. He kind of stays into the Midwest. Like he does a lot of shows from Detroit all the way down to Texas, and he stays in that strip.
Right.
Because I used to do shows in Philly, even as far as like Delaware. But we did Philly shows, we did a Boston show, we did a lot of Jersey stuff, and Barry Sanders was never at any of them.
Well, you did you said you guys did the ones in at Fort Washington, right? The Greater Philadelphia Expo. That's you guys did that one.
It was a different show back then. Don't forget, I was 13 then, so you're talking 35 years ago.
Right. I mean, I guess
it was.
You were probably still doing the show. Were you still doing the shows when you were like 17, or were you guys out of it at that point?
I think we did it for 3 years straight. So it was I think the company that ran it was Coltar, something like that.
Yeah, that's. Because I went to the. I mean, we went to the ones at Fort Washington.
It was a 4-day.
And I probably would have started going when I was 10 or 11.
4-day Labor Day show. That's what we did every year, and then we went from Friday to Monday. Man, we made some money. That's where I saw my first. It was a heartbreaker. It was my first Honus Wagner card. It was embedded in an acrylic ashtray. I was like, oh, that's heartbreaking. Yeah. Probably could have had that thing. It wasn't for much. A few $100s maybe back then.
Probably still worth some cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Pete Rose walked into the show with a big fur coat, and it was Labor Day.
You sure it wasn't Howard Eskin, the sports announcer from Philadelphia?
Yeah, pretty sure.
That tool bag.
Yeah. That was a good show, though. I met a lot of... Because back in the day, like, you'll see it in my blog, too. Back in the day, like, you'd show up for the show on a, Thursday night setup. And on the table would be an envelope with every single autograph guest that's going to be at the show. It was included in the price of the table, which wasn't much.
Can you imagine today? Like,
oh, yeah, no.
I'm sure you get none of that stuff now. Yeah.
No, you don't get any of that stuff. But I would, like, my dad would watch the table, and here I am going to meet, like, the who's who of mid to late 90s, 80s baseball players.
Yeah.
I met so many guys, like, I remember one strip, it was like, I'm just walking down, bam, 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 bam. It was like Tony Gwynn, Benito Santiago, Mark McGuire, Will Clark. It was Doc and Darryl, Jose Canseco, Bo Jackson. And I had tickets for all of them. I'm just walking down. I have 8x10s of everybody. And I remember I got a big Mark McGuire poster I had signed. That's the one where he had the the big baseball bats or big giant, the Bash Brothers poster.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so much fun back then. But you know, they don't do that. Forget that. That's like 5 G's in autograph tickets. They're just giving for free.
Yeah. It's crazy. It is crazy. I mean, you know, just a couple $100 for an individual, and you're like,
oh yeah, the most I've ever spent to this day is I spent $360 for Mike Tyson. I spent $350 for Hulk Hogan, and the most I ever spent was $500 for Muhammad Ali, and that's it.
you saw Muhammad Ali before his Parkinson's started, or
No, he was only signing. He
couldn't
signed,
have because
no,
he
he
got
signed
that like in the '96 Olympics, for God's sake.
He signed 50 autographs. That's it. Left. And it was whatever. And even the 50 was not guaranteed. It's whatever he could do. So he would only sell 50, and then whatever he could do. If his strength ran out at 30, as is 30. I mean, everybody got their money back, but yeah, it was whatever. I got him on a boxing glove up there.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I've never been a big autograph guy. I would say that probably the only person I've ever actually met that was like of significant fame to get the autograph was when I was a kid. We got Eric Lindros's autograph, and it was at a preseason hockey game, and my buddy just loved Lindros. And somebody was like, why don't you go around the back of the stadium where the ramp that the cars come out?
That's smart.
And that's what we did. And I'll never forget, he was in a BMW with like 3 other hockey players. This is a 6'5", like 250-pound man. So it's like Rod Brindamore and him, like
they're all big too.
In this car like this. And he signed our ticket stubs. I probably still have it somewhere. I couldn't.
I had to look it up the other day. I was having a conversation with a coworker. I had no idea Lindros made it into the Hall of Fame. I had no idea he's a Hall of Famer. I would never thought. I thought like concussions ended his career early and he never got there. Like I never considered him a Hall of Famer.
Well, you just have to remember, like, you know, some of those guys really, if they had 10 good seasons,
I guess,
and you know, scored 100 points in 10 seasons, they're going to be in the top 50 of all time. Points,
did he though? I mean, how many seasons did he play for the Flyers?
Flyers. He's
played a few for the Rangers.
He was a rookie in 8 different seasons. So
he started out with the Leafs, right?
Well, no, he was drafted by the Nordiques. Remember?
Oh, that's it, the Nordiques, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I just remembered the blue and the white. I thought the Leafs
did not want to play there, so
didn't they get Owen Nolan that same year?
And the next year they get Matt Sundin, I think it is the next year. And is that what it was? Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And it would have been insane.
I always love that commercial. He's just like that one kid's like skating down the sidewalk and Sundin just puts him into the glass on a regular sidewalk. You ever see that?
Was it a Sports Center commercial?
It's like an ESPN commercial. It's so funny.
Dude, I saw some idiot the other day. There was an Instagram post about Conor McDavid getting 150 points, right?
Yeah.
And it was like the same night that Crosby scored his 1500th. And so it was clearly a Crosby hater. It was like, oh, McDavid got the 10th of Crosby's career points in one season. I was like, guy, McDavid's already been playing 7 years. It's the first time he's been able to accomplish that.
Yeah.
So what are you saying? Like, are you going to take it the fact that Crosby's won 3 Stanley Cups, World Juniors, multiple MVPs, and is in the top 20 in the history of the league for scoring,
all while being hurt a significant amount of time. He missed a lot of time. He's
missed like 5 entire seasons if you add up in like 5 seasons in his prime.
And he's still amazing. Yeah.
And he's still amazing, right? At 38, scoring close to 100 points. So like, and this is not me being
of course
grandstanding or saying that Connor McDavid's not amazing, because he is.
Yeah.
Just the idea is like
ignorance in sports fandom though is come on. I mean, it's like it goes hand in hand.
Like, and the fact that people think when your guy's going good, people always assume that their trajectory is going to be this forever.
Course. Right.
Like that almost every Hall of Famer doesn't look like that, Like, I mean, Albert Pujols, right? Untouchable for 10 seasons, and then
now he's got a beer belly and he can't run anymore. It's like
almost unwatchable for 2.5 or 3 seasons. Well,
it's like Mattingly. So. Mattingly was hard to watch. Like I started watching the Yankees because of him in '83. And to see, like, you see time running out and them not winning, and it was hard to watch. Like that, him as a player meant so much to me.
It's kind of incredible with a bad back that he was still able to win all the Gold Gloves, though. At a position, like at a position that it is one of the easier positions in the field, but to win the Gold Glove, you actually do have to do a lot.
And he won. He won what? 8 Gold Gloves?
I think he won 9 Gold Gloves.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Considering he won Gold Gloves during injury-plagued seasons.
I still say you put his numbers next to Kirby Puckett, you're just missing a ring. The dude's got 8 or 9 Gold Gloves. He's got an MVP. He's got a batting title. He's got everything. He just doesn't have a World Series ring.
Well, his numbers for those 4 years are just disgusting.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Like 84 to 88, but he gets hurt, I think, in the 89 season, and then 89 through 95.
That's where he changed his batting stance too. Remember,
he doesn't play a full season, right? The power's gone, and stuff like
Kevin
that.
Kevin Moss emerges in '91.
Yes, Kevin Moss emerges for 3.5 weeks in '91.
3.5 weeks, yeah. So what was it? 21 home runs in the first 3 weeks of his career. It's like
the guy's jaw is the biggest thing in the stadium.
I looked him up. He looks exactly the same. He's like a real estate agent or something.
Yeah.
So
some of those dudes don't change.
No, they don't change. But I even remember like the first, because my family didn't have any money back then. We didn't get to Yankee games. I think that was the first time I ever got to a Yankee game. Want to go see Mattingly? Kevin Moss is playing first base. I'm like, God damn it! That sucks.
No Moss. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, yo. Well, wish me luck on Saturday. Hopefully,
good luck.
I don't know. Like I said, I have very low expectations, but hopefully it's it'd be a great win if I make a couple $100, and to move some books. So
yeah, no, it's good.
That'll do the trick for me, and and make sure I meet people. I gotta make some homemade business cards just so I have some,
right.
Potentially, because the nice thing about doing a toy show is a lot of those guys will come across comics and don't care about comics. So, like, if you can make connections and, again, be the nice guy who's going to treat them fairly.
You're also going to have a lot of nostalgic conversations and no purchases.
This is true.
It's hard to get into long, in-depth conversations at a table when you're, like, ignoring people that want to purchase stuff.
Yeah,
That's a tough one.
Yeah. That's why they said early bird opens at 9, and I can set up as early as 6:30.
Oh,
well, you see my setup. Like, I'm gonna have everything alphabetized and already priced. So if I get there between 6:30 and 7, my setup is going to take. I don't have to set any tables up. It's 1 8-foot table. There's no space for wall books, so it's going to take me 12 minutes to set up or something like that.
So doing your array of shorts, and then you'll have that table behind you and some. I'm
going to have my array of shorts. I might, if I can take a card table, maybe I'll take some, put some slabs, on stands. But I'm not even really worried about slabs too terribly much because it is a small show. So I'll probably have. It's an 8-foot table, so I'll probably have 6 short boxes of priced books, maybe a box of $1 to $3 books that are all like 80s properties, because that's probably going to be the bigger demographic here. And if I got a ton of high grade Star Trek books that I can put up for $1 a piece, and those kind of books, and then I'll probably have a stack of gaming magazines and trade paperbacks and stuff like that.
Oh, you still got those guides, right? Those guide books.
On the end, yeah.
People like those.
Yeah, this is, like I said, this I set aside for you. And then
Thanks, man.
I had this on eBay, but nobody's pulling the trigger, so I think I'll just give this to Jimmy. This Frazetta.
Oh, Frazetta book. Yeah, Jimmy would
Yeah,
love that.
it's really cool. I mean, it's definitely got some wear on the cover, but
You-
I've seen
you mean
these
it's
selling.
got- you mean love?
with- Yes,
Not
I've
wear.
seen these kind of, and there's nothing. I mean, everything inside
Yeah,
is
it's so cool.
super bright, and
Yeah.
so I'd seen these selling for around $20 on eBay. So I was like, oh, I'll throw it up there. You know, was like completely afterthought.
Yeah.
I didn't even all of this stuff I didn't even consider when I bought the
Sure, of
electric,
course.
you know, so, but I've been able to make some money on them. I got all these really nice mouse guard books in that collection too, which I think I'll probably hold on to these. Maybe
We should
Griff
put
and
them
I
with
would.
mine and see if we could put a run together. I have like
I have
7 of them.
There's Shadows Within. That's no, that's not the first one. This is the first one. Belly the Beast, right?
That's the first one. That's the first mouse
I
card.
think this is the first.
I don't
one,
even.
yeah.
I don't think I have that one.
So, yeah, I think this is the first one.
Is it worth reading? I haven't even read them. Maybe I
Yeah,
should.
I imagine they're worth reading. Because didn't they win like a freaking Eisner or whatever? The
Probably.
artwork is so cool. It's really interesting too, because the artwork is this like combination of watercolors and pen and ink, but
It reminds me of
the
that book.
typesetting. Look how simple the typesetting is.
Yeah.
It's just like really straightforward. Like
Yeah.
whatever that is.
It reminds me of Monstrous, that book.
Yeah, I think this is the one, and there's one of these, Dolph, that's worth a ton of money. This one's the second printing, which I think is still worth about $25 or $30, something like that.
Yeah, mine are
But
down here.
one of them has a price on the cover, and that's the one that
Hold on.
like it's $2.95 or something like that, and that's the
Give me
one
2
that
seconds. Let me see what these are.
sells for the most. The one fella who's at the card show that's going to be at this show, Dolph, is the guy that I had
There
the
you go.
dollars. The one guy who's going to be at this toy show is the guy who had the dollars box the other week that I got all those freaking really nice
I got
long shots. Yeah.
Rise
Oh,
of
yes,
the Axe,
yeah.
second printing.
See, I don't have that one.
I have Shadows Within, second printing.
Yeah, I have that one. Yeah.
I have the Dark Ghost, first printing. And then I have Midnight's Dawn, first printing.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah, first printing of those two.
Mouse Guard Winter 1152.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
And then Mouse Guard Winter 1152. I'm guessing this is second print? No.
Yeah, I have issues 1. I have issues 1, 2, 4, and 5. So I think you and I do have.
Yeah, we
if
have
you
the
have
run
3 and
together.
6, yeah, the whole run. Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah,
They're really
this is,
cool.
This is 3 of 6. This is also 3 of 6. Rise of the X. Unless there's
There's
is there a
probably 2
volume?
different.
Yeah, there's more than one volume. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that first one, I never even knew that. This what is it? Shadows Within is the first issue.
Belly of the Beast is issue 1.
Oh, Belly of the Beast. Do I have that one?
Yeah. No, this one is the.
Belly of the Beast. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll look
So,
for this to read. Maybe if he's got a trade, I'll buy it and read it.
Yeah. So anyways, the guy, one of the guys I knew who's going to be at the toy show is the guy who had that $1 long box that I got all those.
Oh yeah.
Those newsstands from. And I asked him. I actually saw him at the flea market the other day. I was like, "Hey man,
You got
The-
some
the-
more?
yeah, this guy's like, he's like watching paint dry. Like that's kind of the demeanor." So I was like, "Hey man," he's like, "What's up?" So I'm trying to extract information. I was like, "You gonna do the show?" "Yeah, I'll be there." Like,
That's awesome.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm a comic dude. I'm gonna be there too." I was like, "You got any comics?" He's like, "I think I'll have a box." So he doesn't want to he doesn't want to find out anything more about them. So that's the kind of guy that he'll pick them up if
Is he
they're
older?
I would say he's probably he's our age, like in between you and I, so he just doesn't deal with doesn't care about the comics. So yeah,
that's so fun. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So his prices are always pretty fair too. I told Griffin about something I didn't get Griffin this Sunday, and that was a bit of a mistake. So
Nice.
the guy had 3 original Tauntauns
Cool.
and like 4 figures, and he only had them for $25.
Oh, that's cool. With the saddles and everything?
2 of them had saddles, one of them didn't have a saddle. But like I didn't take like any cash with me.
Yeah,
Like I was just going, I think I had like $12 or something, because I was like, let me see what I can find for $1. I actually got a great set. I should have showed you guys. I got a great set of Batman pins from the third Batman.
Store? Oh.
The which one? The Riddler and Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, that's the third one.
Yeah,
that's Returns.
For Forever, Batman Forever.
Oh wait, yeah, Forever.
Yeah, and they're for a kid's birthday party, so just each one just says "Happy Birthday" on it.
Oh, cool.
But they're still on the cardboard, and I got those for $2.
Yeah, that's
so,
cool.
Yeah, it's actually a great a bunch of reduced price stickers laying over top of each other, and I think one of them goes over the bat symbol pin's head or something like that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Rafał said good luck at the show this weekend.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, but I'd love to make a couple $100 and then use that to already reserve my spot for the Pittsburgh show.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then I'm gonna have to move some stuff on eBay because I want to get at least 10 to 15 books graded. I'll probably end up getting some of the modern stuff submitted that's with you.
Yeah, just tell me whenever. I'm I still got this submission for Rick that I got to do. I'd like to throw a couple of my new.
Yeah, I would say you got to get some of your new stuff in there
I got to start
especially if his
stuff.
Especially if his stuff is standard. Is it standard tier or economy tier? I mean,
Rick's. No, it's gonna be. It's gonna be that first appearance of Swamp Thing. In a nice grade, like 6 or 7. So it'll.
So that's got to go standard.
That'll be standard, but that might push everything into the system. So.
Sure.
Which it kind of does. If I label it right and put ST on all the boxes and submit them, they open it up as soon as they get it, and then everything gets submitted.
We'll have to see if that was a fluke, if the website was just wrong, or
it works sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes it's just a regular, because I did that with.
No, I mean that information that we saw the other day was that.
Oh,
was that
30 days? That's God, I don't know, man. I almost want to pay for fast tracking anyway.
So it still has it as 30 days for standard turnaround and 20 for fast track.
What about it? No, you want economy. How fast?
No. Sorry. Economy is 30 days if you the standard turnaround time and 20 days for fast track.
Yeah, but there's also another number is how quickly they open the packages after receiving them. Because that's 30 days once it's entered into the system.
But remember, when we were looking before, it was like 210 working days.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. Because Chris's Fernando's Green Lantern books were there since last summer, and I just got them back.
Yeah. So, but the modern books, their working days are 20 days, or fast track is 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, modern's fast. Modern's pretty easy.
They must have caught up, though, because, their total tiers for modern, 20 days or 10 days. Economy, 30 days or 20 days. Standard, 10 days. So, they must have caught up considerably.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I think there's probably, you saw this just with, you saw with baseball. All these people that jumped into it were sending everything for grading. Regardless, they just no discerning eye about it. They were, buying 20 issues of. So
now you think they're being more discriminate on what they send?
Well, I think a lot of those people left the hobby already too. I think
that's possible.
I think a ton of those people left the hobby because they were buying here and trying to sell here. They weren't making any money. They were paying irrational prices, and then they were trying to make money on it. I mean, look at some of the sports cards, it almost makes me sick to my stomach when you see what
They're
even
saying
the
Jordan rookies dropped 77%. Like
Dolph,
the guy who bought the whatever a 10 Jordan rookie for like 600 grand, like the last one sold for like 120.
yeah,
He lost $550,000 on that card.
you ever watch that kid? I think his thing's called PSA Investor, PSA Grader, or whatever. He talks kind of like this. Yeah, like he did a recent one about like 10 biggest losses over the last
I did see that. You know who I
two
do like?
years.
I like
Holy.
I like the kid who deals in tobacco cards. You ever see his channel?
No,
I gotta look at my. Hold on, let me bring up my watch.
but he did his 10 biggest losses, and I was
What
like,
did you?
oh,
What was it? PSA what?
I think it's called PSA Investor or something like that.
Is it the
Holy
redheaded
crap.
kid?
No, he wears a black baseball cap.
Oh, I do know him. I haven't watched him in a while. I do know him. Top 13 NFL football cards sold for a massive loss. This is 7 hours ago. Did you see that?
Yeah, the one that I watched was the basketball, I think, but like
Top
man,
12
some of
NBA cards. So he's doing it for every sport. I'll
yeah,
add this
some
to
of
my
the
watch
losses
later.
were bonkers, man. Yeah, some of the losses were just like I was like, how would you even stomach that?
Yeah. I gotta there's a couple of channels that I'm really liking lately. Keston's old school comic books.
Yeah.
Love his channel.
He's a postman, right?
He wears a exactly. He does wear a post hat.
I mean, he's got some crazy comic books.
He
too.
does. He's big money. He spends a lot of money. And the other guy, let's see if I can find him. The other guy is a kid, but man, does he know like pre-war stuff. He's really good at it. Let's see if I can find him. Of course I can.
There's a lot of those content creators that I think are really cool, but yeah, just some of those losses are hard to stomach. And so I think a lot of those people, and there's a lot of people that are in the there's a lot of people that fall into that middle class to lower middle class that were a little drunk on some of the money from the pandemic and spent a bunch of money on stuff. They jumped into these hobbies and
oh yeah, they found out the hard way.
Yeah, they literally did the opposite of what I did.
Breakout Cards is the other guy.
Instead of avoiding eBay and paying the prices on their way up, like they bought at the top. They're the ones that were buying.
The thing is, though, is that you can still play the game now.
Oh no, yeah, I mean
but they're just not smart about it. Like you should have been buying your Thrawn books a year and a half ago, not now. Like now, when they've announced the casting, now that they're all-time high. These morons are still buying the book right now. Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, I think the thing is that you have to, you can't stop learning. Like, you have to watch, you have to pay attention to what eBay sales are happening. You have to, you should keep watching Comic Tom and stuff like that because he is reporting every single week on what the market's doing. You watch Very Gary when he does the cover price 1 year later, and you see the trends and stuff like that.
I miss Mr. Miracle, man. I liked his videos. He doesn't post anymore. I think his last video was like 8 months ago. I really liked his stuff though. He picked he'd always pick some obscure books that only really cost you like $10 or $20. I did very well on a couple of his picks, especially his like G.I. Joe stuff, his Transformer picks, like. He had some good ones.
You gotta wonder whether he did something happen or whatever because
well, he used to do a live chat too with two other guys, and that ended too. He didn't do the live chat anymore.
Yeah, the last episode that I think I watched of him, it was weird because he was never really like negative about stuff, but he was pretty negative about some things in it. So yeah, so I was like, oh, maybe something happened, or maybe I had a really poor experience with somebody. So
maybe.
Anywho.
Yeah, man. This is 3 hours and 24 minutes.
Yeah, it's hardcore.
Hardcore.
So
everybody,
everybody.
whoever, I mean, 4 people are still watching. Thank you very much for sticking with us this long.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
It is always
also
a pleasure.
like if you watch on a regular basis, like we sooner or later we should actually have like an actual plan of what we're going to talk about. So if there's something that you guys would like to actually hear.
Yeah, that's it. I'm at junkyardbreaks@gmail.com. If you guys ever want to send us a chat idea, we'll get through our mail call, a quick bit of news. We'll get through the top 10 list. But when we have these long conversations, we'd love a topic.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to have. It'd be awesome to have you jump on.
Yeah,
too.
we'd have to we got to get you on here. But yeah, so if you guys junkyardbreaks@gmail.com. If you guys want to send me some chat ideas, or even like some more structure to the show.
Sure. less.
We always say that too, right? We need structure. We're all over the place. We're not though. We're not.
I mean, the only consistency is Jimmy's going to say Junkyard Breaks, and we'll all do some stupid version of it too. So, yeah. But,
all right, brother.
All right.
Thank you all again, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.